Welcome to BTM Reviews, where we talk about the news. Got the scoop you need to hear. Stay a while, join the cheer. Super chat me, let's go live. Feel the buzz and take a dive. Super chat me, don't delay. Join the fun, it's here today. Pour the bourbon, let it flow. Talking drinks you need to know. Whiskey's aged and barrels old. Stories told in glasses full. Super chat me, let's go live. Feel the buzz and take a dive. Super chat me, don't delay. Join the fun, it's here today. Toys and gadgets, playtime fun. From old school to brand new ones. Action figures, cars that zoom. Fill your heart and light the room. Super chat me, let's go live. Feel the buzz and take a dive. Super chat me, don't delay. Join the fun, it's here today. Movies, flicks on silver screens. Drama, action, fill your dreams. Real to real, the stories told. Lights and camera, new and old. Super chat me, let's go live. Feel the buzz and take a dive. Super chat me, don't delay. Join the fun, it's here today. Movies, flicks on silver screens. Drama, action, fill your dreams. Real to real, the stories told. Lights and camera, new and old. Super chat me, let's go live. Feel the buzz, come take a dive. Super chat me, don't delay. Join the fun, it's here today.
Hey guys, welcome to BTM Reviews. I'm Dave, and it's Monday night, which is good. Good start to the week today. Not crazy busy, but had to, go to Joliet and do some training today. So not too bad. Tomorrow's not good though. Tomorrow I got to get up at like 4:30 in the morning to drive 4 hours south to go do. This is how silly it is. I got to drive 4 hours south to plug in my computer to their piece of equipment because their computers are blocked from outside programs. So I have to drive 4 hours in one direction to go do that. So that's my day tomorrow. 8 hours for 20 minutes of work. 8 hours of driving for 20 minutes of work. But hey, that's what I get paid to do, so I'm going to go do it. We are going to talk about House of the Dragon tonight. Spoilers. Might be my last episode doing this shit, man. Holy God, if I have to hear more people talk and never fucking get to the point, it's, man. So, I don't know. Well, I just feel like, and I'll bring Jem on in a second. I just feel no Jay tonight. Jay couldn't make it. He had a lot of stuff going on today. I just feel like they're teasing us every week because they're waiting for one big battle. But goddamn, does it take 10 episodes to get us there? That's just how it feels to me. And but let's bring on Jim. What do you think, Jim? Am I crazy?
No, it seems like they're dragging things out way too long. Like this whole, it's been like two episodes at least where they were talking about the dragon seeds, and then this episode ended with that guy, the dragon choosing that guy, which is not from the book and doesn't make any sense really. But whatever.
The big, I mean, what is that? I was just like, what are we? And I don't know anything about this, but that seemed gay.
No, according to the books, they put out a call for all dragon seeds to come and claim dragon. Anyone who could claim a dragon would become a lord, be risen up, and become, all this and that. And that's how the guy came and went, because those two brothers, the one that Alan, that the guy that saved what's his face's life, Corliss, the sea snake's life, he made his first mate and all that. They both try to get dragons in the book. And the one brother that keeps shaving his head, he almost dies, and then the other brother ends up claiming sea smoke. But I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. They need to pick up the pace. That one death that we saw in this episode was really shitty. You could tell the guy was wearing a fucking fire suit.
Oh, when the dragon burned him up?
Yeah.
Dude, it was so like, I don't know, man. I'm a pretty patient guy, but this is 6 episodes, man. And I just feel like
they're focusing way too much on the palace intrigue and not enough on what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
And more episodes of fucking Damon fucking having nightmares or visions or
and then you told me that the king was supposed to be out of it for a year.
Yeah.
It's been like a week.
Yeah.
But this is not, again, we don't need him to be awake. We don't need that. We don't need that stupid intrigue at all of the
guy going to tell Laris going to tell him, you need your mind.
2 more or 4 more?
No, I thought it's supposed to be 10 episodes. Supposed to be 10.
But I don't know enough about it.
I heard that they're not even going to show the Battle of the Gullet this year, and if that's the case, what the fuck are they going to show?
Yeah. How many? Oh, 8 episodes. That's it, Jim.
All right.
So
I thought it was...
I'm guessing next week will be the battle.
Should be. What battle is it going to be? Is it going to be the Battle of the Honey Wine, I think it's called, or is it going to be the Battle of Bitterbridge, or is it going to be the Battle of... What the fuck battle is it going to be? Doesn't make any sense.
Sounds like they're really worried about where Damon is.
Well, Damon plays a very important part in all this,
I know, but it sounds like that's where they're going to go try to fight.
Well, no, yeah, they come to attack Damon, and that's when the Winter Wolves and some other people end up getting there and fucking up that whole army that just left King's Landing.
Right. So
I think that's where Kristen Cole dies, and then there should be more. There's some weird shit happening. Like, I have a feeling that they're not even going to show Nettles, which is who is supposed to tame Sheep Stealer, and ends up there's speculation in the book that it's Damon's daughter from somewhere, a bastard daughter, whatever, and that now it's looking like Reyna was supposed to get the older girl that went to the Vale with the 2 kids. She was supposed to have a dragon egg hatch, and it's going to be called like Morning or something. But I'm getting this suspicious feeling that they're going to have her get on Sheep Stealer, because when you notice she was there and she saw the burn and someone attacked, and she said, "Oh, there's a dragon here in the Vale." Mm-hmm. Well, and then they're like, "Yeah, well, that would be Sheep Stealer," and I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just think they're changing so much from the books. I don't know why.
Are the are is the book too detailed to go into for them
No,
to
not
like pay
no,
attention?
no. It's a story. You take the it. It's so a book could be 1,000 pages and be a 20-minute movie because you're not. It's showing, not telling. They're still telling us everything and not showing us.
It
And
was
it's a fucking TV show. It's supposed to
and
be the opposite.
it was a fucking long episode, dude.
Yeah.
70 minutes. I just looked it up. Next week is 67 minutes and episode 8 is 73 minutes. So they just made the last 3 episodes longer rather than
Maybe.
making it a 10 episode season, it looks like. But they could have, I mean,
They could have cut so much time out of this. We could have still been in season 1, like episode 5 right now with what just happened. They could have crammed, just got rid of all the bullshit and just been like, I don't know.
if I got to hear her whine one more time about not being able to go to fight because she's like being told what to do, it's like, shut the fuck up with this, man.
Dave, you could take a little solace in knowing that she eventually gets eaten by a dragon. Unless they change that.
It's not even, it's okay. So they say the same things over a lot in different episodes. It's like, we've already heard this. Okay. We're, about the whole brother or the guy that saved the dude in the ship, the guy whining that he's not taking advantage of that. We heard those lines 3 episodes ago when they're on the dock and he was talking to him while he was.
Well, how many times have we seen Viserys and Daemon, that interaction, with the dying and then on the throne? It's like, are they just using stuff and throwing it in to fill time and saying it's a visions? He's having visions.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I mean, Ben's right there. If there is only 2 more episodes to go, but if there is a giant battle, is it even going to pay off? Because again, I'm finding it very hard to like anybody. Nobody's made me go, I really am on that person's side. This episode more than any made me hate the guy with the patch more than I have before. Because he's just being a complete douchebag. Right?
Yeah, well, it's definitely clear that he was trying to kill his brother.
Yes, for sure.
That he wants to be king.
Yeah, it's definitely clear. It's actually kind of frightening that nobody's even like questioning his, like he's no smarter than anybody on that council, but he and it's like, well, where does he get all this knowledge from? He's not been around that long. He wasn't in those rooms, was it? Yeah, he was in the rooms.
Yeah, but I think he's only supposed to be like 17 or 16 or 17 right now.
Yeah,
he's not supposed to be that old. Well, a little bit older, because if they said Darren is 16 and 10, so that's 16,
of course they had to do that, Julio.
Oh yeah, the lesbian scene, that was fucked up. Why?
Oh fuck, was that in the book?
I don't remember that in the book. No,
I was just like, really? Do we have to do this?
No, if I remember correctly, in the book, Daemon was the one running around banging everything.
Well, he's a fucking impotent bitch now. He ain't banging anybody in this whole season.
And he had to have a chick take care of, that's what, that she went, and she's the one who killed Oscar Tully or whatever, or Grover Tully.
He's having some weird, weird relationship with this witch. Like now he needs her to be his guide or some shit. Isn't that what he said? Like something.
Yeah. But eventually, from the books, when he leaves Harrenhal and Aemond goes to Harrenhal, and while Aemond is in Harrenhal, they go to King's Landing and get King's Landing, and everybody flees from King's Landing, and then Daemon goes to battle him there. But at some point, Aemond and this witch end up, she ends up pregnant or something from the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting to see what they do. You know, if they're going to replace Nettles with Rhaena, that leaves a question about where's that egg then that's supposed to hatch, and that was supposed to be her dragon. And,
Maybe they're going to leave it out.
yeah.
Because it seems like they're adding stuff that's not in the books and probably leaving, like you said, there's a whole different narrator that's supposed to be around, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's possible, too. Maybe what they'll do is they'll have them leave because she said, you know, the guy from Pento said he'll take care of you. You guys can go on this gay abandon or whatever was the name of the ship. And that's the ship that gets attacked by the Triarchy. And then, so maybe they'll show that and show Aegon, the younger Aegon the Third or whatever his name is, flying to back to Dragonstone to tell him what happened, and then that'll be the end of the season. And then they'll show the big battle when all the dragons go and attack the Triarchy and defeat that stuff. But they end up escaping with the youngest kid. And then later on, at the end, he shows back up.
Mm.
You know, after he's on the
Julio,
throne.
thank you for the $10, sir. Just puts $10 and runs. I mean, doesn't say anything. That's our man Julio. I hope you're having a good night, Julio. Hope you had a good Monday. Yeah, maybe I'm just being a little too harsh. Oh, by the way, Jim, did you see that video I sent you today?
Did you send me a video?
Yeah, that Rippaverse goalpost.
Oh yes. That they always do this. They clip videos where I don't say anything.
Sounds like he was really going after low watermark on that one too.
Yeah.
You
know, they basically clipped it right at the end. You go, "You agree, Jim?" And I go, "Yeah, I agree." And then they cut it. And I was like, "You fuckers." I'm just a mute.
I mean, I'm just like, dude, nothing we said was wrong.
No.
Nothing was, I mean, he is an angry
it wasn't even
man.
mean or anything. It was just saying, you know, you guys used to be happy. Why don't you do something that makes you happy? You're obviously not happy.
Right. Oh, of course they left out Nettles because the show would never dare have Rhaenyra order the killing of a child. What do you think, Jim?
Maybe. I don't know. Well, I mean, they already killed a child, and you know, I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know, they have a story that's completely flushed out. They could expand on the story, but changing the story as it's written just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and I don't see why they keep doing it. You know, you can always expand on that story with stuff that wasn't in the book, you know, more, but don't change what's written down.
Jim, the more I watch the show, though, I just feel like they want us to see how beautiful every set piece is in every shot. You notice that? Like, we get this big sweeping picture, even in the room, like, you know, when she's in her room and talking to the one girl, and then they have their little lesbian. They got to pan around the whole room just so we can see their beautiful set. They go to the castle. We got to see this beautiful panoramic view of the castle. Quit spending your money on that shit and show me some people fucking killing each other, because I am tired of not seeing any. Like, when I saw those horse guys, you know, the guys on the horses in the beginning when it opened up, I was like, oh shit, here we go. We're gonna actually get some action. No.
Yeah, but then the guy's like, nah. I mean, we're not doing anything until we get a dragon, because there's a dragon flying around here. We're not gonna get burnt up.
Yeah.
So.
Very, very disappointing. So the Bruce Kind says Daemon gets Nettles pregnant. Rhaenyra ordered the killing of Nettles, leading to a major house switching and siding with King Aegon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't know it that good, the Bruce Kind. So Jim knows a whole lot more than I do. I just enjoy talking about this stuff because it's better than talking about Eric July and shit like that. That's stupid. Are you ready to go over this, Jim?
Sure.
Yeah? You
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go.
So here's the horses in the beginning. It's the the Lannister army arriving at I don't even know what house this is now that I think about it. Not Beesbury or something. It's Hull. Oh, the Golden Tooth. That's right, the Golden Tooth. Uh, and they're basically like, we're ready to march. I got 500 soldiers, and then he's like,
And he says,
no,
I
we're
got
gonna.
double. He says, I got 7 times that, right? He
Yeah.
gets a smart ass comment back. Like,
Yeah. And he's like, we're gonna dine in your halls, and then send word to my brother that we're waiting on Prince Aemon to arrive on Vagar because they want a dragon.
mm-hmm.
Well,
He lost his shit when he got that message, didn't he?
oh yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing is, because he knows he can't, if he leaves King's Landing, it's undefended. Once he's out of King's Landing, they could take King's Landing and then end up, it's over.
Oh, with
Once
his
Vagar's
dragon.
gone. Yeah, if his dragon
Right.
leaves, there's no one there to defend it. It would be, I mean, Helena, the queen, has a dragon, but I don't think it's very large.
Yeah, book spoilers are okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, book spoilers
yeah.
are fine. We
We're
don't know
fine.
it's TV spoilers. It's they keep changing shit.
Right. So you're right about that. However, I also don't think you like the fact that they were demanding him to do something he didn't want to do.
Yeah. This is where he tells, I don't know, Thailand, whatever his name is, Ticos, tit fucker, that he needs to go to Pentos, or not Pentos, one of the free cities, Mir, Lys, and get the Triarchy and try to get them to break the blockade.
Right.
But then there was this whole thing that I was not in any of the books about the queen sending supplies into the city and all this stuff. Tylenol, that's his name, for your headache. And then where did she get the food from? Where did all this food come from that she's got? She doesn't have any money or gold. The Reach wasn't sending her food, so where is the food coming from? It's not like they grow food on Dragonstone, really, or on a Driftmark. So where did all the food that she got come from? From ships that they took? Maybe. I mean, they didn't really explain that.
I would think that the blockade
Was getting
supplying
ships.
them with everything they need.
Oh, so anybody tries to cross the blockade, they just take their stuff. Maybe. It's possible.
Yeah, or they just say you ain't getting through, and we're going to take your shit. I mean, because what else are they going to do with it? It's going to go bad by the time they go try to find another. I just can't get over how quick people get places. It just really bothers me. Like, God damn, you were just in this place the last scene, and now you're already here. You don't even go like 3 scenes without that person being in the next scene. It's like, fuck. I know we went over the map that night. It's just like, God damn it. There's got to be more. It's the medieval times, fantasy times. I mean, not everybody's flying around on dragons and shit.
Well, no, that was the thing with the original Game of Thrones series. The first 5 seasons, it took a long time for people to get places.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. It's not like a walk in the park. Oh, there's my pinpoint. I'm going to just walk right over there, and there'll be no hassles out here in this wild fucking terrain that we're in. It's silly. It kind of gets on my nerves. Yeah, so he wants them to go and destroy the blockades.
Well, he wants them to go hire or make a deal with the Triarchy, which are basically pirates, and get them to get their ships to break the blockade.
Mm-hmm.
Which was in the books. I thought in the books it was Otto who contacted the Triarchy, but maybe I'm wrong. Because how they were looking for Otto, no one knew where Otto was.
Yeah, later in this episode, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought in the books it was Otto that went, that's where he went. He went across the sea to try and secure help from across the sea. But, I don't know.
Wonder why he would do that, though, when they kicked him out.
Well, he's still, it's still, I don't know. He just felt desire and need to do. You know what I mean? He had been
because of his grandkids and stuff being.
Well,
in
yeah.
line.
Plus, he was the hand of the king to Viserys. He was the hand of the king, I thought, to Jaehaerys also. Maybe I'm wrong.
Right. All right.
So this argument they have, about that. I don't like this guy.
I don't understand what he's doing. Later on.
And this is where he tells his mother, "You're not needed here anymore. Take a hike."
Yeah.
Yeah,
like you served us well. Now get the fuck out, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of brutal. Is that in the books?
I don't remember that being in the books.
It
kind of almost seems like everything, like the books were written from the side, like the Aegon, the younger Aegon kid that's going to be king and his people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're written from their point of view. So Rhaenyra's point of view.
Right.
And so it's possible that that's why all this is wrong. There's nobody, because most of these people all die.
Mm-hmm.
I think even Allison gets executed, maybe, unless I'm wrong. Or she dies in a black cell. Something.
A black cell?
Well, that's what they call it, the black cells in the Red Keep, the dungeon.
Okay. So, I mean, we know he tried to kill his brother for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand kicking her off the council though. Like they don't listen to her anyway. She's just a different voice.
Yeah.
He just wants to. He don't want a council, does he? He hates them all.
No, I thought it was good though when he tells whatever his name, when Larys, the guy, tries to tell him, "Oh, you need a different hand." The what's his face? Cole was the King Aegon's hand, not yours. So you need your own hand. He goes, "You're right." And he goes, "You're gonna handle that for me?" And he goes, "Oh, I never thought to be hand." And he's like, "No, I wasn't talking about you. You send a message to my grandfather or grandsire, Otto. He'll be my hand."
Oh yeah, that's right.
And they're like, no one can find Otto.
Well, yeah, because his brother's the one that threw Otto out, right?
Right.
Yeah. Even he's smart enough to know that wasn't the right play. For sure.
Yeah, I think Aemon is definitely smarter than Aegon. So then there's where she comes in, and then Darklyn volunteers to try to get on a dragon, which ends poorly.
Well, like they really had to sell it to him, though. It wasn't a simple thing. Like he's like, "What?"
Well, because it was kind of weird. Like, well, your grandmother's grandmother was a Targaryen,
right?
So
I don't even think he knew it. He's like, "What? Are you kidding? Huh?" That was some finagling they had to do to get him to do that.
Which is, they know for a fact that there's a bunch. I mean, just look around for anybody with white hair and purple eyes, and those would be the people you go, "You're a Targaryen. Come here. Come try to ride this dragon."
Right. Exactly.
But no, they so.
Yeah. Mm.
What's this?
So.
Why is it so dark?
Because it's fucking HBO, number one. It's like anytime you move your mouse over it, it makes it dark.
It's weird.
Yeah, why is it? Now what's this about again?
This is when when he went to see, like he was having a dream and he was with Viserys, and Viserys was telling him to get out.
Yeah, this is Daemon, yeah.
Daemon. And he's like, open the door, and
yeah, this was again. This is more of the fucking weirdness. of the show.
You know, and this is him and her, and basically telling her older things, blah blah blah, and you know that 3 days times the wind will shift, but turns out that the wind shifting was just her going to River Run to kill Grover Tully, I guess. So this was kind of interesting, and he turns in almost like a pussy here. Matt Smith's character, where he's basically like all just begging, you know, for help, and I don't, you know, she says, "Well, you're asking for help." No, I want counsel, not help.
I want
So
counsel, right?
Yeah, it's just weird. They're making him like a beta. Like, I need your help. You know,
And what is she? What is she proving to him that he needs her help because she knows the castle's cursed?
well, she had an owl come and land on her wrist, so she's obviously talented. You know,
Yeah, it's like, but why does he need her counsel? Does she have some knowledge of these river people? She did say something about a specific group that is well balanced and they're not really, you know, out to like destroy other groups, right? Like, and they
well, she said the Tullys.
yeah,
So the Tullys are the only one. You know, they're not the richest, they're not the largest, but they've been able to hold this together since the conquest, and you know they'll be able to do it. And he's, you know, he says just as soon as, you know, he's like, but yeah, but they're the Lord Paramount of the Riverlands is old and won't do anything, and should give it 3 days time, it'll change. And then she basically, it's implied that she goes to River Run and kills the guy for him. You know, but why? It's weird because they don't explain why she was able to just go there. She's not a maester; she's just their healer or some kind of witch, and they allow her to come in, and nobody says, "Hey, you just came in, and he's dead now."
again, they don't show, they just tell, right?
Yeah,
And what makes her such a stealth killer?
she must have poisoned him or something.
Is she a shapeshifter that we don't know about? Can she?
Well, it's possible.
Can
There
she
are
take
these things that can go into creatures. They're called green seers, or what is it? What, wargs. They could warg inside of a creature. So who knows if she's a warg? But usually, if they're warged into someone, they're not. You know, like their eyes are weird. They turn all white, and they, you know, according to the last book or movies, shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's what happened or what, but so. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, he's just been there chilling, and then this is them doing him trying to go on a dragon, and he gets burnt up.
Yes, like
But it was real cheesy. Like, you could see right here. Look at that. You could see he's wearing a wrap,
right.
and then he pretends to slice his throat. So it was not done well.
Well, here's the other thing too. It took what 6 minutes of this shit of the dragon sniffing around and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like Jesus Christ. I'm glad I was on the treadmill watching this shit because I had something to preoccupy my mind other than this. This was not a good scene.
Yeah.
You
know, I mean, and the whole thing about the dragon going to find that guy and basically becoming, you know, I guess if that's a bastard son of Corlys, and his previous writer was Laenor, the son of Corlys, maybe that's why the dragon was like, "Oh, this smells like the same guy. It's the same family." You know what I mean? It's the same blood. The blood, you know, the blood's similar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But they don't really, you know, like, they kind of try to imply that there was some magic originally. That's why the dragons were bonded to these people, and the reason that the families like Targaryens were always interbred once they came. You know, they weren't interbred when they were in Valyria, but they were all different dragon rider families. And there was some kind of magic going on there that were possibly how they were able to bond with the dragons. Or it's just a matter of you went and got a dragon through bringing them sheep and stuff, and were able to tame a dragon. Then once you were with that dragon and that dragon hatched eggs, once you hatched the eggs, you could take that dragon would be used to someone, and in that family, the dragon would stay with that family, type of thing. I don't know which the story is, but
like they tamed them as they were growing up,
right? So you know, just like anything, you could have like a tiger or a bear, and if you raise it from a baby, it's gonna, you know, be friendly to you, generally speaking.
Right. Well, when we get to that point, that whole scene was weird.
It was really weird.
Weird. This was, at least this did happen for reasons like, hey, this ain't that fucking easy. Like,
Yeah.
it would have been worse if it would have just like put his head down and said, "Hop on, dude." That would have been like, oh shit. I thought that's where it was going after 6 minutes. Like, oh, it did its whole deal. It figured out this is a good guy. But no, fucking nostrils turned orange and out came the flame. He's like, holy shit. But this looks like a bad John Carpenter fire scene from the 70s.
And what's weird too is like I haven't read anywhere where any Targaryen was ever hurt trying to claim a dragon.
Yeah.
But yet all these other people trying to claim these dragons was like the whole sowing of the seeds, there was like 30 or 40 people, like I think 20 died, somewhere between 16 and 20 died, and like 30 or 40 were injured.
Because they weren't Targaryen?
Right. So it's got to be something to do with the blood. You know what I mean? Like just that they could smell, the dragon knows this is the same like this is the same family or something, or same people. They smell the same. They smell it. They go, oh, this is this, like
but
I'm
this
used
guy
to the smell.
This guy was Targaryen.
Supposedly his grandma's grandma, so that's diluted 6 times.
It's still blood. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, it's got to be maybe the more blood or whatever, or closer. Who knows? You got to remember too, in the books, both Adam Valerian and Alan Valerian, or their Hull is their name right now until they get they get risen up and get legitimized as Valerians. They looked like Targaryens because they were Valerian. The Valerian family were also from Valeria, and they had the white hair and the purple eyes just like the Targaryens. So I can't help it. In the TV show, they don't look like that. That's how they looked in the books. They were not black in the books.
Oh, right. And I do remember watching enough of the Fellowship last year where they explained at least they have some kind of reasoning to why they could be black because they come from the South, blah, 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 right?
Yeah, but still it doesn't make a lot of sense, because in the books it said they had white hair and purple eyes, and it didn't say anything about them being black.
Sure, right. Well, they got to get those that DEI money, buddy.
Yeah. And what's his face? Corlys Valerian, actually his mother might have been a Targaryen, if I'm not mistaken. And then he was married to another Targaryen, so his kids, like, it's weird, odd. Man, your dog loves that toy. Yeah, so here, and this guy keeps shaving his head because he would have white hair like him, or blonde, whatever, platinum blonde. But yet his brother has black hair.
Is it his brother?
Yeah, it's his brother. There's both bastard children of his.
Okay. Okay, so it is his. Yeah, why is his brother's hair jet black? Like black. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Ugh. It's so many inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he asked him to join him on.
Yeah, he said be his first mate.
Right. And then he said, "Is this an order or are you asking me?" Dude, get your ass on the ship is what he told him. Be there tomorrow morning, ready to go.
Yeah.
This scene where the lady's bitching at the bar.
Yeah, and this was all put into place by, the White Worm, which is the girl that was making out with Rhaenyra. I don't know. This is all part of, cause a ruckus. And how did she get there so fast? How did all this stuff happen so fast? And then they sent the
How
food.
did that guy happen to be there at the right time? I know it's for reasons, but it's so.
Yeah. And this is going to be one of the guys who ends up getting getting a dragon off the White, and then another guy called Hugh the Hammer gets a dragon, and then one more person, I can't remember his name, gets a dragon.
So everybody's gonna get a fucking dragon now.
Well, there's going to be Adam Valerian got a dragon. These two get dragons, and then there's another the Nettles is supposed to get a dragon, because I think there's Vermithor, Silverwing, and Vermithor and Sea Smoke. And Sea Smoke gets Adam Valerian, and then those two. And I think there might be one more, man. I don't know. I'm sorry. Oh, and Nettles is supposed to get Sheep Stealer, but I don't know if that's what they're going to go with. You know, here she is, you know, basically like, oh, slapping one of her counselors because, you know, you've forgotten to fear me. Well, no, maybe because what do they have to be afraid of? You know,
Right. You doubt yourself more than anybody. But like, why did she need to slap him? Like the dude was like, you see him look around after she walked away. Like, did anybody see that shit? 'Cause that was embarrassing.
Yeah. And I could swear from the books, she's not supposed to really look like this at this point. She's supposed to be like dumpy and large because she's had like 7 kids.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So she's not supposed to be all skinny and.
is that a reason that another reason they might not want her out on a dragon because she's not in the best shape in the books?
I don't know.
Do they want her on dragons in the book or not? Or is it the same storyline?
I swore she was out on her dragon flying around doing stuff. Because, you know, like, you know, where's the thing? Like, where's Bela and her dragon? You haven't seen her anywhere.
Bela's the
other girl, the Damon's daughter, the
Yeah.
other daughter that had a dragon. You know, where has she been? You know, she went and talked to her grandpa the last episode to give him the Hand of the Queen badge, and then that's it. Now you don't see her this whole episode.
Yeah.
Shouldn't she be flying a dragon around, reporting back, or?
But we got to see her sister whining.
Yeah, and then seeing the Bert stuff, and then complaining, and then, you know, saying
A lot of whining goes on in this show, dude. A lot of whining.
Yeah. Here's that. You know, like, I didn't know at first when they said their gift was sent, I thought they might have been talking about these sheep coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're bringing in the sheep to feed the dragons. They have to feed like that Vagar eats like 8 or 9 sheep a day.
Right.
So.
But that's the whole storyline with the sheep dude not getting paid, even though he was promised and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, here's the scene where he tells them to find him a new hand, and then he says whatever, and he tells them no, send a message to Otto.
But nobody knows where Otto is.
Right. And then here's him going to see his brother and basically trying to say, what do you remember? It was foolish. You attacked Melees on your own. You know, like.
So what? What's he going to do? He's going to go to jail? No. He's not. He'll just kill you when he gets healthy. He's not going to tell you what he remembers. If he remembers, he's going to fucking take care of it.
Yeah, you know, I don't think he's that smart. He probably would say something, and then it's weird because then he tells the Maester, you know, keep him sedated or whatever, and then Laris intercedes and says, "Don't give it to him." And I don't know. There's all these backstories and stuff happening at the same time, just going in different directions. Like at some point, you would think somebody would say, "Aemon's trying to kill him," or "What should we do?" And
right.
You know, but then again, they're caught between a rock and a hard place because if they do anything to Aemon, they lose Vagar. You know, because it's not like someone else can just jump on Vagar.
And he knows it.
Yeah. So.
But, dude, the whole year that in the books that he's out of it, right? Is there a war going on?
Yeah.
So he's not even asleep at all during any war right now in the show.
Well, he's asleep, but that's the thing. Like, I don't know. He's up now, but then when the Maester later on tells the Dowager Queen, you know, that he sleeps 9 out of 10 hours. So who knows? You know, I know.
Okay.
And then there's a scene where Laris comes in and tells the nurse or whoever, "Don't give it to him. Make him wait another hour." It's like, what? You know, at some point you would think someone would go say, "Hey, that fucking club-footed asshole just told me I couldn't give the king his medicine. So what's going on?" And that someone would step in. It's like nobody ever opens their mouth.
Well, maybe he thinks that they're just drugging him to keep him asleep.
It's possible,
right? So
but he needs
you
to heal.
You get him weaned off the pain medication. You know, maybe he'll heal faster. Who knows? I mean, they don't tell us shit. It's just, and fine, I get it, but
yeah. And here's where she sees the Burt Dragon stuff. So this wasn't in the book of her stumbling across this. So that's why I'm thinking they're gonna have her get Sheep Stealer there somehow, or this is just a scene they put in for no reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even remember who this was.
This is Raina, and one of the kids. I think the smallest kid. I don't know.
Oh, the daughter.
Yeah, Damon and Leanna Valerian or Lena Valerian. It's so hard to keep track of all these names. You know, and this is where she tells them that they're going to go on the ship. You know,
they're going to have him awake during the season because otherwise he would be done with scenes. Yeah, well.
Oh, she's saying that dragon started appearing right after the war began. So who knows? She'll send 6 good men. You know, here he is shaving. This is Alan Hull shaving his head to shave off the white hair.
And being reminded again about he's not taking advantage of his you know, hey, you should have took advantage of that, dude. Think of all the riches we could have, of all the good food we could have, all that stuff. Yeah, no shit, Angela's pencils. Yeah. It's bad. I don't know, man. Like he didn't need to stick that ball on his chest to get his point across. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't even tense, Jim.
Yeah.
You knew it was going to happen. I mean, as soon as he asked that question, what do you remember? You're like, oh, he's going to fucking try and make him talk, to make him tell him if he remembers anything. That way, what was he going to do? Slit his throat right there if he did say he remembered?
I don't know.
The only guy in the room, and then the king is dead. I don't understand the purpose of that. What's the
I don't know.
threat?
He could go in there in the middle of the night and put a pillow over his head. I don't know. Suffocate him and go like, oh, he just stopped breathing. I don't know.
Yeah, but if he really remembered, and his brother just threatened him, he would tell somebody right away, "Hey, dude, this is what happened." And then if I'm dead, you know who did it. I mean, he can communicate a little bit.
Well, you would think he would have said something to the Laris guy, like my brother.
Well, that's
tried
why
to kill
it makes
me.
more sense for him to stay asleep.
Yeah.
We don't need his fucking interaction in this shit. That's retard drama's sake for being. That's fucking retarded soap opera bullshit. The guy's basically comatose. Let's make sure he stays in a coma. Angela's pencil says, yeah, they're going to make Rhaenyra into the Nettles character. It's a shame. Raina. Yeah, sorry. Oh, dude. They're not even likable. They could all fucking die. See ya. And apparently they do. Nobody has any high moral standing. And the son, he was all pissy with her there too, right?
Yeah, I don't remember about what exactly. You know, because I think
because she said something about your gift is on the way, and the son and the mom said, I guess she said something, and then he goes,
yeah, why is she keeping? But why is she keeping secrets from her son? Doesn't make a lot of sense to keep keeping secrets from your son who's trying to help you. Like all these people just keeping secrets. If you talk to people, let them know what you're doing, then you know they can help you. Or
they might be able to help take advantage of the situation if they know other people that they could go, you know, do whatever they need to do. Yeah, it's weird. Like, tell the whole fucking staff, this is what we're going to do to make some crazy rebellion go on over there, which was actually, I liked the idea, Jim, but you said it's not in the book, but it's actually,
I don't remember this from the book.
but it's a pretty good idea, since they supposedly, you know,
I mean,
have blockaded all the food from getting in. They must have all the food. That's how I interpret it. Like, hey,
I remember from the book the White Worm using spies to try to sow dissent in the city and try to do stuff like sending messages to her network of spies. But I don't remember the food shipments. But then again, it was years ago I read it, so maybe it was in there. I don't know.
well, they haven't done anything with spies, so maybe this was their alternative because it's kind of quicker.
Well, no, that was that woman that was saying the stuff in the.
That's one spy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I kind of like this idea. It does drive a wedge if you're like, fuck, she cares about us and she's not even here and she's sending us food. But how many of
But
those
I don't understand how the two characters we saw in this episode, the guy that steals the food later on, that goes and grabs it, he's Hugh the Hammer who gets a dragon on Dragonstone, and then
the guy that punched the guy for his bag of food,
right? He gets
the
a
one
dragon.
that doesn't get paid for his sheep, yeah.
Right? And then the guy who was in the bar getting the message from him, that's also a dragon seed that gets a dragon. But they're both in King's Landing right now, so at some point they got to get the Dragonstone to get the dragons. And there's supposed to be a whole bunch of people on Dragonstone trying to get the dragons.
Well, what was this? What were they? They said they were putting out a call, like like they were going to get people to try out.
Yeah, it's actually going to be Jace, the son, the older son that was just there. That's going to tell people, set the word out for more, that not the queen, according to the book.
Right. Well, maybe that's why they go, because they got the call. But they're yeah.
And so this is where she, he tells her he's only awake 9 out of 10 hours, and and this is where she goes to see her brother, and then she really wants to see Kristen Cole, but doesn't, and then asks about her son, who they really didn't mention very much until, like, I don't even remember seeing him. I thought maybe they were going to write him out, but then supposedly his dragon's going to take the wing under him, and so he's going to help the Hightower army on their march up, and he does do some shit in a battle. I think it's
her son,
her youngest son, yeah, Darren or Dayron.
Okay, what's he, like 9?
No, he's 16.
Everybody's 16 in this show.
Yeah, well, I think Aegon's supposed to be a little bit older now. I think he's supposed to be 18 maybe, and then maybe Aemond is 17 and Darren is 16.
Imagine how old or how silly old time was, dude, when your bloodline made you the ruler. Yeah. And you're like 16 and you're ruling 60-year-old men who've lived a life. I mean, what the fuck? Yeah. This is her brother, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't really seem to like what he's doing.
No. Well, he's doing what he's told to do, or what he thinks he has to do, because he's the oldest son of Otto Hightower. So he's doing what maybe his father, I don't know. He says he hasn't talked to his father, and that she would have gotten any letters. So who knows what's up with that, really? And I don't.
It's like, who do they know and where do they know to send a letter?
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah. And she's supposed to, this is Helena, she's supposed to be one that, the kid they were talking about, Andrew Campbell, was Darren, their youngest, Viserys and Alicent's youngest son. He ends up getting killed later. I think he gets killed by Hugh the Hammer and Off the White later on. and then they switch sides, and anyway, and that's when what's her face, Rhaenyra decides that she has to kill the other dragon seeds, orders them killed so that they don't change sides, and causes a whole bunch of shit. Yeah, who knows? Maybe that'll be season 5.
Yeah, because there's only 4 seasons. Sure.
I don't know. But she's supposed to, like, this one, Helena, she's supposed to have visions and stuff, and they don't really, I mean, they did in the first few episodes, she did some stuff talking about different things, and
this is the king's wife, right?
Yeah.
She kind of has a pointless role so far. They haven't given her much to do.
Yeah. I think she ends up killing herself or something, if I'm not mistaken. I think.
Makes sense. I don't blame her.
Yeah. This guy right here is Hugh the Hammer. You can see he's got white hair and everything, so
he's going to switch sides.
Well, he ends up getting a dragon, and then I think he fights at the Battle of the Gullet, I think, and then goes and fights at like Bitterbridge or something, or Battle of Honeywine Part 2 maybe, and then at some point he switches sides, and I think he like tries to take over in King's Landing.
Well, he's pissed off, man. They never paid him for his fucking sheep.
Yeah, but I think, is he the one? That's going to be like later, where after, like, cause some shit happens where then a dragon gets killed. At least one dragon gets killed in the dragon pits in King's Landing, and then Rhaenyra flees, and someone else, and then yeah.
Well, I can't even say there's any great acting this season, dude. There's no acting as good as last season's yet.
Yeah, I think he's the one who tries to declare himself king and ends up getting his head chopped off for it.
Right. That would make sense.
Yeah. And this whole scene with them leaving the church, and then a guy's arm gets chopped off, and then she tells these guys to, sheath their swords. And you got to remember too, these guys weren't qualified to be Kingsguard. They were just the guys that hung out with Aegon drinking, so he made them Kingsguard.
Right.
And so they're not qualified to do what they're doing, and they can't, so they end up, I think at least one of them gets killed.
Well, dude, there's got to be a different exit than the fucking front door too. If you're trying to get these people out of there, there's got to be a different exit, man. They just brought them right through the whole shit show.
Yeah, there's got to be tunnels.
And why aren't they dead? I mean, there was thousands of people there. There was 10 guards. Why aren't they dead?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
No, it was BS. Those people were pissed. Pissed. So I didn't like that scene at all. I really thought one of those two were going to die right there at least. But you knew better because you've read it, right?
Yeah, no, neither one of those died there, but at least one of the Kingsguard dies, if I remember correctly.
Well, he looked like he was dying.
Yeah.
So where did they flee to, though?
They went and got into a carriage.
I know, but where were they going to? Because it looked like they were leaving the city.
No, they're going to the Red Keep. It's separated. You got to go through a gate to get to the Red Keep. It's separated from the city. It's the castle's inside, but it's got different.
It's weird too. Like, why are they going after her? She's not the queen anymore. They know she's not the queen. Why is the crowd after her? Not Aegon.
Well, they just attacking who they can see. And I don't know how she got cut on her arm either. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Reasons.
Reasons.
Too many reasons in this show. Just reasons for stuff.
And here's the whole scene where Laris goes to Aegon and he starts basically crying, saying, "Help me."
Yep.
You know, and he tells his whole story about how he's got a fucked up foot. It's not like he has 3 arms or 4 eyes or something. It's weird.
Yeah. So
He's basically telling him, like, you're all burnt up and fucked up and you'll never walk right again or run, but, you're just like me with a fucked up foot.
Oh, goody. You're just like me with a fucked up foot. What was he telling him here, though?
Some story about how he was born screaming or something and his foot was mangled. And
he's letting him know his life's in danger?
Yeah, which means your life is in danger. Whoa. He's like, help me. He should have told him, your brother sent for Otto, but he doesn't.
Well, like he's his boy, right? He's his boy.
Yeah.
So it's like he's definitely playing both sides here, right?
Yeah, he's what they call a lickspittle. A grasper.
Lickspittle? Yeah,
a lickspittle, a grasper, someone who's trying to do what they can just to, advance.
Exist.
It's basically like the same, when you didn't watch the original series Game of Thrones, but there was this guy called Littlefinger, Peter Baelish.
I've heard that guy's name 1,000 times, yeah.
Kind of like this guy, but, it's just weird where his name is Laris, and there was the spider in Game of Thrones' name was Varys. So this basically the same name with just one letter changed.
Okay.
And there was always suspicion about who Varys was, if he was a secret Targaryen, because he shaved his head all the time too, like maybe to hide the white hair.
Oh.
And this scene with Daemon coming across his brother when his wife died and all that, it's like, I don't get it. I don't get what, like, I understand you want to use Paddy Considine. You had him just in that season, so just there's more ways to use him, but it's just weird they keep throwing him in there.
Yeah, who was supposed to be dead here?
His wife, Emma. I think
his
her name
wife.
Was. Yeah,
okay.
Emma.
Yeah. And again, Damon's imagining this. He's in Fruity World, living at that, what they call wisping trees or something, Jim?
Weirwood trees.
Weirwood trees?
Yeah.
But at least he does realize he's got to get the hell out of there because it's affecting him.
Yeah, but then he doesn't.
No, he stays because he needs guidance.
He needs help.
Yeah, I need guidance.
I need help.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because then he wakes up there. But I mean, this is like 5 minutes of stuff that doesn't make that was unnecessary. And then he wakes up to this guy telling him that Grover Tully died.
Right.
And then here's Sea Smoke chasing this guy down, which doesn't, I don't understand it. Like I said, and then basically chooses him to be his rider. So the only thing I said, maybe he smelled that's the same, the same blood as the guy who used to ride him. Maybe because they're,
but
they were
he doesn't
like half
have the
brothers.
right color hair according to the whole lore of these people.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to believe? I mean, I don't get it, man. And then,
maybe we'll find out he was dyeing his hair. I don't know. Instead of shaving it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he just dyed it.
But he doesn't have the purple eyes.
Yeah. No, nobody. They kind of got away from the purple eyes in the last series too, because they tried to do it, but the contacts or whatever were too, like, they didn't want to wear the contacts. They said it was a pain in the ass, and so they could have just CGI'd the green, the purple eyes into everyone.
No shit.
That would have worked.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we see their eyes every time, but when we do, that CGI could be pretty damn easy.
Yeah.
I would think. They CGI everything else, like these fucking dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, he chased him around for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to stare at him. And was that the end of the episode? Is that where it ended?
No, and then the end, then she finds someone comes and tell, this is where she was making out with the chick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this
And
is your
then-
lesbian scene, Julio.
Yeah. And then someone comes in to tell her that, that someone was riding
A dragon.
in a dragon, and so she leaves to go see who it is. And takes off, and then that's the end of the episode.
Does she even know this guy exists?
Maybe, I don't know.
I bet she doesn't. Because even his dad doesn't act like he exists.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's out bragging about 2 bastard kids on boats, do you?
Yeah. I don't know.
He's got some splaining to do when this kid shows up. They did a good job with the dragons. I will say that. They do look good. Their motions and all that stuff, Jim, when they're flying, it looks very good. You got something else? Or
I'm gonna look. I mean, we can watch the trailer for next week, but there's not very much in it.
I don't want to see the trailer. It's going to be boring. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. I'm sorry. Shouldn't be so negative. I got to be negative, though, Jim. It's not that good.
It's not
that was
good.
a 5 out of 10 this week, dude. 70
Yeah.
minutes of nothing happening. Nothing happened.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the only thing that really happened was you had the one guy get his arm chopped off by the Kingsguard, and then the Kingsguard gets killed, and she gets cut on the arm. You had the guy get burned. You had this food come in, and it's like a slow burn that's not going anywhere fast, and it could be so much better.
Yeah.
It should jump, like from big scene to big scene, not this long drawn out bullshit.
Look, I get it. I mean, it's all based on fucking politics, but it's not even politics anymore. It's just women whining about their fucking place in the world that they're living in. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
God. Any detraction going on tonight? I don't know, Andrew. We're not going to be here really long. I get up at 4:30 in the morning tomorrow to drive 4 hours in one direction and then turn around like 40 minutes later, 20 minutes later, and drive 4 hours back. So I don't think we'll be here too long. Now, Jim, something happened this weekend that somebody dropped out or something.
Oh yeah. Joe Biden dropped out of
Who?
Joe Biden.
Biden?
Supposedly, I don't know. Maybe he's not even alive. I don't know. No one's
Is he
seen
in
him.
House of Dragon? I haven't seen him there.
No, he's in the House of the White.
Oh, how? Oh, the guy in this place called Washington, D.C.
Correct. There's been a lot of weird stuff come up. Like I don't know. Here, let me find it. Where is it?
I heard that he gave Kamala his full support. Is that correct?
Supposedly.
He endorsed
supposedly,
it. He endorsed
at
her?
first he didn't. Hold on a second.
I don't think he's still alive, Andrew Campbell. I bet he's not. What do you think, Jim? Oh. Jim's on a phone call, guys. He looks very happy about it, too. I bet they want something from him. Yeah, that is Biden.
Sorry.
Was that Biden? Hey, don't talk about me, Joe or Jim. Jim has this thing where he can tune people out. Like,
No, I
doesn't
don't.
even-
I was signing into something. Deep State calling Jim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Looked like an important call.
no, it's my son bothering me.
I could tell. You looked aggravated. Like, what do you want? Don't be calling me. You only call me because you know I'm on stream.
Trying to find.
So anyway, is Kamala is she like the?
Well, I don't understand it. Like they're acting like she's just that she's automatic now. She's going to be running for president, but Joe Biden can't just tell his delegates, "You go there now." He doesn't. He just has a choice to release the delegates, and they can do what they want. You know, it's not a matter of just go wherever. So
He doesn't get to appoint them.
right, he doesn't get to appoint them, and Obama still hasn't said what he wants because Obama's statement was, "We're going to have a vigorous convention and get the best nominee." So we'll see what happens. There was a thing I saw. I want to find it.
Kamala's turn. I don't think Kamala. I don't think that she'll get the delegates, Jim.
Supposedly she secured almost half the delegates, but she's got to get a lot.
That's easy to say before they've had any conventions or anything, right?
Yeah.
Secured, sure. Yeah, this is Washington D.C. Dave and Jim 2028. No way, man. No way. I value my life too much. Those people are crazy up there.
So there's this little bit of information here that I saw today that was very interesting to me. This is the people that tracked his phones and phones associated with his house. Like, I don't know, somehow they were able, I don't know who did this or how, but they were able to get like cell phone connections, whatever this oversight project is. And it's
How did they
saying
get that information that quick?
I don't know, but they're claiming that they tracked someone who regularly visited Crook's home and work, also visited a building in Washington, D.C., located in Gallery Place. This is in the same vicinity of an FBI office on June 26, 2023. Whose device is this? You know, and then all these other things that they're tracking phones, like, and there was the weird stuff about the guy taking the picture of him to send off somewhere. They wanted his picture to send off, they said, for facial recognition. But man, if this turns out that this guy was being groomed by the FBI or the ATF to do something and they just lost track of him and this happened, that's going to be bad for them.
But it'll never come out.
I don't know. It's hard. You know, they're trying to bury stuff now, and that, like the whole hearing today with the chick not answering the questions, like, you know, she claimed under oath that only one shot was fired by counter snipers, so that means all the other 9 shots were fired by someone else. So that would
10
mean,
shots.
well, there was 10 in total. But,
I thought there was 11.
Oh, maybe there was 11. Okay.
There was 9, 10, 11. Yeah.
But she refused to answer how many shell casings they found for the AR the kid had. So what does that tell you? That they don't have the correct number.
Why does she get the right to refuse any answer?
I don't know. I don't understand. She's under subpoena. She's supposed to have to answer. She can't just say, "I'm not going to answer that question." I don't understand it. That would be contempt of Congress as far as I'm concerned.
She why would she have any right to not answer any question? She could say, "I don't have that information." That'd be different, right? Like,
Yeah.
That information hasn't been shared with me. So Nancy Mace obliterated that woman today. The Secret Service woman. Yeah. So
Yeah.
So they had a hearing this quick.
Yeah, well, it was a joint hearing, and it seemed like basically the Democrats are also pissed. It seemed, but a bunch of them tried to go with, "Oh, we need to get gun control
Oh
because this
yeah,
is why
that's
AR-15s we got to get rid of them." But they're just as pissed that I think they're like, "Wait a minute, this could be us. This is how shitty you guys are at your job. What the fuck?" Yeah.
well, they're only that shitty at their job when they want to be that shitty at their job, right?
Yeah.
Think of all the other times presidents goes out and there's never anything that happens. But the ones they really don't like, they can make. I'm with herpes.
This is another good one.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh no. That's not good, man. The original Hawk to a girl. So anyway, does she have a running mate that she's talking about?
She's trying to find some, but they're saying that she's been in talks with Roy Cooper, who's currently the governor of North Carolina, but he's term limited out, and he probably would, even if he wasn't, he wouldn't win again anyway because that state kind of swung the other direction now. So, but yeah,
Was he popular?
no, not really. I mean, he might help. He might help her stem the bleeding a little bit, as a turn of phrase, not actual blood, but stop the losses in the
Make it look like
South.
there's a grown-up in the room?
Yeah, because he's a Southern white dude, so he might help a little. I don't know, but I
But
don't
who
know.
wants to be vice president to her, dude?
Well, that's the thing too. Is whoever's her vice president has to be somebody that's not going to outshine her.
That's anybody.
Yeah.
Who's not going to outshine that moron? Fuck. I mean, as bad as Biden was, he outshined her.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that I think was just a matter of her not really being anywhere. Just her stuff is so bad. But there was another like.
She's awful. What's up, Two White? How you doing, buddy? Another crazy Monday. What happened today that was crazy, Jim?
I have no idea. Oh, look at this. Governor Westmoreland. Oh, maybe she's going to pick him, the governor of Maryland. Donald Trump is about to find out being president of the United States is a black job. Wow.
What?
That's pretty racist. Wow.
What the fuck? Oh my God. Again, they're promoting her like she's got the job already, Jim.
Yeah.
That's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, no, it's not. And, just. Well, basically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to shift the story so that any criticism of her is just racism or misogyny instead of the shitty record and the poor stuff, and also not tie the Democrat. They're trying to get the Democrat to have a story they could sell in the press that it's not the failure and all the shitty stuff that they did that nobody liked that causes the loss, but it's just racism and sexism.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly, Julio. What the fuck, dude? Oh my God. I don't understand but I'm dumb. I just don't understand why they think that a bunch of people more than voted for Biden would vote for her. What has she ever done, Jim, that's given anybody any sense that she's done anything worthwhile? I mean, at least Biden was around for 30 fucking years before he got the job, right? People knew who he was. Trump's another one. Nobody knew what he could do, but he was a businessman for 40 years, 45 years, and knew how to do that. negotiate and do all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. Oh, here's a Rep Ro Khanna. He's a Democrat,
That awful of
a crazy progressive, and
Then.
basically telling her to resign.
Now, Director
Telling-
Kittle, would you agree
her.
that this is the most serious security lapse since President Reagan was shot in 1981 of the Secret Service?
Yes, sir, I would.
And, do you know what Stuart Knight did when he was in charge at the time of the Secret Service? Do you know what he did afterwards?
He remained on duty.
He resigned. He resigned.
He resigned.
And Stuart Knight was not a Democratic appointee or a Republican appointee. Look, I'm not questioning your judgment. Awful.
It's like, he resigned. You should too.
Well, he also worked in Silicon Valley, JD. So he made a bunch of money out there, didn't he, Jim? JD Vance?
I think so.
I think he did all right. He's also a
Wow.
lawyer. He went to Yale?
I didn't know. I didn't know that Melanie Mack was tweeting so much.
That ain't enough times. That's not enough times. With as many people that live on this planet, that needs to be like 2.6 trillion times. There's nothing wrong with the word faggot. Be right back, Jim. Don't not talk. Now you got to talk.
Oh, okay.
All right, talk.
Yeah, so it looks like that there was a complete conspiracy, and Deep State tried to take out Trump and failed, and so then they had to take out Biden because the signature on the letter wasn't Biden's signature. It doesn't make a lot of sense. The whole letter was written weirdly. Nobody's seen Biden in days. And then there's some weird deep fake recording that they released to Kamala, or Kamala, whatever the fuck her name is. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I don't think she does. She pronounces that's how she pronounces it. But yeah, so that's the way it looks. Oh wow, no fly zone over Delaware. They don't want anyone taking pictures of Biden's house. Here's Roseanne Barr. The time she tried to sleep with John Goodman. That's weird. Yeah, conservatives use shooting at Trump rally to attack DEI efforts at the Secret Service. No, this DEI stuff. It doesn't make any sense. AOC asked some good questions and said that it's got to be faster than 60 days because that'll give Republicans too much time to talk about how bad this is. So, and then here. Here's Kurt Metzger talking about Destiny, and it's the face you make. Interesting. Here's Frankie McDonald, and I don't know what he's doing. Looks like he's got some kind of troops and stuff, and so.
Are you talking?
Yes, I was talking.
What are you talking about?
I was talking about Frankie McDonald here. He's getting ready to go out with the troops to win the battle.
Is he the handicap guy?
He's not handicapped. He's an awesome weatherman.
Autistic guy?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, autistic guy.
Yeah.
And then there's a new video out about the the magnetic shift.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that says it's increasing. Some Russian guy. So we can do that.
That's gonna yeah, that's I was thinking about some Theory Thursday stuff this weekend. Because I was watching some conspiracy theory stuff on Netflix. We should probably talk about that. Unless, we make our $50 and we do it tomorrow night or whatever. But man, some good stuff to talk about. There's so many, Jim. I mean,
Pole shift with some perspective to help.
even when you talk about
Good afternoon, folks. The topic.
White House murders and shit, all those.
Well, I
conspiracy
mean,
theories.
I don't know if that's ever gonna. I don't know if we're ever gonna really know what happened. I mean, it's pretty obvious. And did you see too that there was a room like there was the building next to the roof that the kid was on that was taller, and there was an office building that with a window that looks out onto that roof where the Secret Service and everybody was. and there was a sniper in there. But he left that room to go tell people that the kid was to find the kid. And while he was out of the room, that's when the kid climbed up on the roof and took the shots.
Oh, is that true?
That's what they're saying. And they showed pictures of it. Like, I could look for it real quick. Right here.
Hey, chat, is my connection good or is it shit?
See, here's the room. This is the roof the kid was on here. This is the room with the window. And this is the room. They were in this room.
Yeah. That's where the ladder was.
Watch.
We're not close. Yeah.
See? This is the room, and they were doing. This is where remember when they said they secured it from the inside. This is what they were talking about. But the guy that was the sniper in that window left and was gone for 7 minutes while the kid climbed up on the roof and took the shot. It's just weird coincidences.
Yeah. Yeah, Sweet Tooth. That's pretty funny. If only we had technology that allowed us to communicate with other people. I mean, kind of crazy. He had to leave the room to tell people.
Yeah. Weird.
And it's not like when the kid got up there, he was set up really fast because we saw his stupid belly crawl. It looked like it took forever. It's yeah. So I mean, they're literally right next to the dude, and they don't even notice. Wow.
Guys, I'm up here on the building where the supposed sniper took a shot. It's not that steep at all. Just had a 70-year-old man back here climb up on the roof easily. See that water tower behind me? Had Secret Service or anybody had sniper teams up there, this guy wouldn't have made it 5 feet up this roof. He would have been taken out. Behind me, you see the windows that Secret Service was supposedly in the second floor of this building behind. Makes you wonder why they weren't able to quickly dispatch the individual. And then behind me, back over here where those red roofs are, that's where the stage was set up. That's where the president was giving his speech from. A lot of questions here in Butler, but we look forward to doing oversight and getting to the bottom of it and making sure it never happens again.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we're going to find out later that somebody was in those rooms and were shooting at the kid and missed, and that's what hit all the people in the stands. I don't know. That would be wild.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is more and more. There's just too much technology out there, Jim. It's harder and harder for them to hide this shit, right? Like, it's not like in the 60s where it took a decade to get anything. This shit was out that afternoon. Like, or that evening after he got shot, there was videos of this shit.
All right, so Julio wanted to see this. He's very excited, so we'll watch the magnetic pole shift.
Wait a minute.
But today is the magnetic pole shift.
Representative Nancy Mace just filed a motion to impeach Kim Cheadle. Will force a vote within 48 hours. She might win that, Jim, because you said that the hearing was bipartisan, right? And they both sides were pretty harsh on her.
Yeah.
She should be fired. She should be gone.
Well,
she should
it would be easy enough for whoever's in charge in Washington to just say you're fired. We want your resignation. It's not that hard.
It says the kid was above them on the roof of that building. No, he was in the. No, he was.
No, he was on the roof. The guy was standing on that. They were supposed to be in the window watching that roof.
Right. She really needs. Yeah, she needs to go. That can't happen, Jim. That just can't happen. Not today. Especially with all the weird shit that's come out. And we know they didn't do a complete tour of the facility that day. They didn't find the fucking gun. They didn't see the 10-foot ladder. They stop a person with a rangefinder and a backpack and don't, get him off the property. What the fuck? This is all out there.
He flew a drone over. They have the video of when he flew the drone over the thing earlier in the morning and nobody caught that.
Well,
and now they're saying that I heard, and I don't know how true it is, that the only reason he wasn't able to set off the bombs was because the state police had a frequency jammer.
They found the frequency.
Well, no, that they had a frequency jammer that was blocking radio signals. They had some kind of device that blocks radio signals. That the Secret Service normally employs stuff like that, but they didn't. Like during, like there's a certain spectrum of frequency that most of those transmitters are on. They're in between this small spectrum to burst out.
Right.
So they just block all that, jam it up, and block it so that nothing can.
Which would be completely different from your headset frequencies, which
Right.
is fine. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Biden can terminate any. Yeah, but Biden's a chicken shit. He won't terminate anybody. They'll have.
I don't even know if Biden's a compos mentis. No one's seen him since the 17th. Today's the 22nd. That's 5 days. So who knows?
Yes, her smugness.
Which doesn't make a lot of
is
sense either,
outrageous.
because if something happened to him and he died or something, that would make it so much easier for it just to become Harris, because she would be the president then.
Right.
I don't.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't get it.
we got 115 people watching us on X right now, or on YouTube right now, Jim.
Yeah.
And we've got 70 watching us on X, and we've got 8 or 9 watching us on Rumble. Pretty good, man. Pretty good night for a Monday. When we started out the show talking about a show that is bad, I'm not gonna say it's a 5 out of 10 for me, Jim. Maybe a 6 just for the set design, but fuck, I don't care how many fucking dragons die in the next 2 weeks. Don't give a shit.
Unless they start picking up the pace, I don't think any dragons are going to die in the next.
The
few
story
weeks.
needs to just
Move.
be more like flowing, dude. It's just gotta. I mean, but Biden's more coherent sometimes in this fucking show. It's like, oh God, here we go again.
It's almost like they're getting paid by the minute, or you know what I mean, like per. So the more.
If you're HBO and you know that they paid them like $60 million for this shit, aren't you wanting to see some action? Like
something.
Seeing a hand get cut off? Who the fuck cares? Biden's in a basement somewhere. He'll pop up soon. Might not be Biden though. They've already accused him of not being Biden. People have shown that mask crease around his neck, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Even my wife sent that shit to me. So yeah, thanks everybody on X watching. Thanks everybody on Rumble, YouTube. It's great. If you haven't, please hit the like button or leave a nice or mean comment. All that stuff helps. It's weird. I mean, we've never done bigger shows, but I keep losing subs because I don't make videos anymore, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Videos matter, but I don't care. I'd rather just talk to the chat. It's more fun. And to you and to our guests.
Yeah, well, I tried to make a video this weekend and like 5 times, and I kept stumbling my words, and I'm like, shit, and then trying to figure out how to edit it. I ended up deleting it, and I don't know. It's hard to make a video.
Man, I work a full-time job, and then I stream for 3 to whatever hours a night. It's hard to make videos, and I don't have the patience to go back and clip out stuff. And you know what I'm saying, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
I could probably have one of my kids do it for me, but I don't think they would know what was good. That what I would.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of people end up taking like clips of their live streams and breaking it down into smaller sections about stuff. Like a certain thing you're talking about, clip it out, put it up as a short or a video.
Yeah.
Or easier, to digest for people. And then you say, watch the whole video here or whatever. You take a 10 or 15-minute clip out or something. But I don't know how to do any of that.
Oh, it's easy to do it because all of your streams are saved in StreamYard, and you can go in there and download it to your PC and then edit it. It's just, dude, I don't even know where to start because it's just the time involved. It's a lot of time.
Oh yeah, Dan Blackbird's right. It was much easier.
He's absolutely right. Just Air July sucks a month. in the beat down with dude. I guess I could just chase the Eric July algorithm, but guys, you know how bored we get with that shit here. It's just like, yeah, we know, we get the point. Sometimes it's a good time, Jim, like it was the other night when Low Watermark got so pissed.
Yeah, I'm
He
just
got
excited.
so mad. Huh?
I'm just excited because fucking Gooding's going to be shipping in a week.
Yeah, but Katie's got a full-time job too, Vero. She's got a full-time gig, and she's a mom. I mean, I couldn't imagine. Maybe I could get Pastor Flash to do it. He's always around. He's a good editor. Clip culture is washed.
Yeah, I'm very bored Jabba too with House of the Dragon. If they don't, I mean, we're
No
just
Jabba. It's awful, dude. I couldn't. 70 minutes of that shit today, Jim, and there's 67 of this stuff coming next week, and then 73 2 weeks from now. Oh my god!
Did you end up ordering the Justified complete series?
Not yet.
You need to get it because then you can watch it, and then we could do a Justified review show.
Well, you know what? We could treat it like we treat anything like this. Just a weekly review of each episode.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just go through.
Yeah. I gave up on it after week 2. Too White. I told Jim in the chat if it didn't pick up by week 4, I was going to stop. But Summer Swan Song, and Jim said, "It's coming, Dave. It's coming." Well, it ain't here yet. There's only 2 episodes to go. So I guess all of season 2 is going to be the build up, and then we're going to have to wait another fucking year to see the battles, Jim.
Something's got to happen.
So, nothing's happening.
Something's got to happen next episode. Something.
Didn't Hot D have dungeons? Have dragon riding Leslie's this week? Yes. Well,
yes, it did.
Yeah. They weren't scissoring. They were just kissing.
It was still a little strange though.
Yeah, because this woman's a fucking peasant, Jim.
Yeah.
She's a peasant. She's just some fucking
and
peasant.
she was also a whore, and then she became a madam, and then the spy master, whatever, the white worm of what's it called? I can't think of the fucking name is escaping me now. What they call it in King's Landing, the really shitty part of town.
Vero, thank you for the $10. Thanks for recognizing the chat. Of course, the chat is what makes this show go, man. The chats, they're always here. They're funny. They've got, they got fun stuff to say, and they tell me shit I don't know, Jim. Like a lot of stuff about these shows. They have more information because they're even deeper into the lore than you.
Yeah.
So it's great. But again, thank you for the 10. That ain't cheap, as Ethan likes to say. But we were talking earlier today. I haven't watched an Ethan episode in a month, Jim. I just haven't. I don't know if it's because I'm just so busy myself, doing this stuff.
I think it was
during
Sunday,
the day,
right? He had that whole where he launched the
Rainbow the Brute
toys. I watched pretty much that whole show, but like it was just on my TV, and I was doing stuff around the house, paying attention to it.
But it's not nothing against Ethan. It's just I'm tired of that kind of drama stuff. I just have more fun doing this stuff. I like to bring up the drama once in a while because it is funny as fuck sometimes. The whole Riley getting arrested, that was funny, but not because Riley got arrested, because we found out the truth about why Riley got arrested, right?
Yeah.
So when you find that shit out, it's super, super funny to talk about.
Well, it's interesting when you see when someone gets caught in a blatant lie like Eric did.
EVS equals QVC. He does have a lot of stuff to sell. Did anybody in the chat buy the Rainbow the Brute figures this week? I know he's streaming tonight.
I think he's done already.
Yeah, I think he got it up to like 111,000 or something for that campaign. Didn't he say he wants 200K?
If it gets to 200K, he's going to do he's going to do all the extras.
So he's already going to make the toy though, because he's got
the
enough money
toy.
to do
100 was just the toy, and then all these other toy. I don't know. So we'll see.
They shut down Tim Pool's live stream.
He might have Tim. If someone says something crazy, Tim shuts it down and takes it off so he doesn't get a strike. But I don't know if that's what happened.
He can't afford a strike. Tim Pool has his own fucking network, dude, on his website. Does he make that much money on YouTube? I mean, he must make a shit ton of money on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
Jim?
He does, but he has. I think he's got like 40,000 or something, or 50,000 subs. Yeah, okay. He has no videos up, so the last one he had was Fridays.
So Sweet Tooth says, I'm poor right now, or I'd probably buy something.
I spent too much money on it.
I didn't buy any. I did get you know what I got today though, that I even forgot it was coming, was that Razor Fist book.
Oh, you finally got it.
Yeah, did you get yours?
No.
Did you order it?
No.
Yeah, it's actually nice, dude. I should go grab it real quick, but we'll do that tomorrow night. It's got a hardcover and a soft cover, and they're not comic book size. They're like the coffee table book size.
Okay.
They look good. And they're westerns. I like western comics, so we'll see. We'll check it out. And one is in color, and the soft cover is in black and white.
Yeah, I saw Jimmy Reyes saying that if anyone who wanted the black and white cover, the black and whites, they're in, and he was going to start shipping them to anybody who wants one.
Yeah,
the color one's still coming.
He DM'd me this weekend that, and I said, dude, don't waste your fucking money. Save your money on shipping, and when you get it all done, send it all at one time, dude. I'm not in a hurry. I don't want him to spend his own money on shipping for that shit.
Yeah,
because he feels guilty. No, I don't feel bad. I'm not in a hurry to get the Jimmy Reyes stuff until Jimmy Reyes says, hey, I'm putting my fucking name on this. He would have never felt good about that if he didn't send out the color version, Jim. So there's no reason to put any stupid pressure on him for the color version.
Did they announce what they're going to do? I mean, did they get a new cover that he's
coloring
sell?
it?
Oh yeah,
I invited him on the show. I invited him on the show last week. He says I'm busy.
I thought he was going to reopen the campaign with like a variant cover drawn by like EVS or John Malin or something like that.
I don't know about that, but I just know that he couldn't come on last week because he said he was busy coloring his book right now. So
he's coloring it himself.
That's what he said. And when he replied to me, let's see. Yeah, I'm spending every free moment coloring my book. I need to get it done as soon as I can. Don't rush it, man. Don't rush it. Just do it right. I don't care. I'm not in a hurry. Are you, Jim? Like this Razor Fist book, I must have ordered that shit 9 months ago. I didn't even remember it was coming. The box came in. My wife goes, "Here you go." I go, "The fuck is this?" I don't know what this is. It was a nice surprise. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure the black and white version will be awesome, but he was like actually willing to send out that version before everything else. And now just send me everything. Like, did you get the whole box set, Jim, from Jimmy? You didn't?
No.
Yeah. He's so EVS is doing a cover for the color. See, that's weird because it was a color campaign when it started. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
It was always a color book. He popped it because a guest advocated for public executions.
Yeah, he does that. If somebody says something out of line.
Problems.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who was his guest, Red Scorpion? Any ideas?
His female guests have routinely caused these problems.
Yeah.
That's okay. Do you have a problem with public executions?
Not as long as they had a trial and everything.
Yeah, but they go to trial and they've been found guilty. I mean,
You know, they used to do it all the time like that for hundreds of years
around the world, not just
Yeah.
in the U.S. Yeah, around the world. That was just
They
the
still
way
do
it was.
public executions in some places. I mean,
do,
technically, the executions here are public. I mean, people have to view it. They have people come in. You got to get on a list and sign up to go see it. And you come
Right.
into the room and watch it or whatever. But it's not like in a public square like they used to do. They would come to the town and build the gallows and hang people in the public, like right in the middle of town.
They'd have a big ass party and all that stuff. Yeah. If there was a hanging in your town, it was a big deal, wasn't it? I mean, they would people come in from all over the place.
So yeah. So I don't know.
Elemental on Jay says, I do editing BTM. Would love to help you out.
You want to play a little of this or?
Yeah, hold on. Elemental, you want to contact me on X at RazorDave68. Hit me up there and we'll talk for sure. I just, I do these long streams. I'm sure we could take some 10 or 15 minute clips and just put them on my channel because something's got to happen, Jim. This is too much work and not getting anything out of it.
Do you get bombarded with emails from people
on Rumble? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
They're going to help me grow my channel.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Not going to happen. It's all BS. It's all BS. So, my Rumble channels is growing like, what do they call that? Without any promotion. I mean, it's not a lot of followers, but I'm on Rumble where I don't talk politics and we're at 81 followers over there. It's like, okay, I like that. I mean, I was at 50 forever or 30. And then one night we got to 56, remember?
Mm-hmm.
When we were streaming that one Saturday night. And then it's just grown and got to 81. So yeah, Elemental, that'd be great if you hit me up. We can definitely talk about it. Christopher Lee saw the last public execution by a guillotine in Paris in 1939. Wow. Yeah. Do you think public executions like deter people from doing bad shit? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I do have a problem with our judicial system though, when somebody's found clearly guilty, not necessarily eyewitness stuff, but like DNA, caught in the act, whatever it is, right? And they get to sit on death row for 30 fucking years. I have a problem with that. How many appeals do they need? Or the state doesn't kill people, and that's another thing we could talk about, Jim. Maybe the state shouldn't go around killing people. I mean, we have like the harshest, like when we put people in jail, we put them in jail for a long ass time compared to other countries.
Well, it wasn't like that before either. It was basically like if you did something bad enough that, like for like murder or something, then they would just kill you.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it wasn't like it is now, where you got people going to jail for basically life for selling drugs or life for robberies or all these different things. They're getting hammered with years that just weren't the case. It just got really draconian in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, it's like I listen to these podcasts, right? And even like in Australia or England or whatever, if they get convicted of murder, they get sentenced to life without the possibility of parole for 25 years. So basically they get a 25-year sentence, right? I think that's a long time.
It is. I mean, you look at some of the Nordic countries, like Sweden and Finland and Norway and stuff, get 10 years for murder.
Right.
So, I don't know. And they seem to have less crime than us. So I don't know. Maybe they actually try to rehabilitate the people.
Well, the prisons aren't full of fucking people in jail for, like you said, for life, for fucking selling drugs or, Yeah, Kamala jailed a lot of people. So did Biden. Biden wanted everybody locked up, dude.
Well, Kamala kept innocent people in jail because she wanted them to work for free and fighting fires and doing stuff. She got in a lot of trouble. She kept people in jail after they were supposed to be out. Kept people on death row even though the evidence was there that they were innocent. She did a bunch of bad shit to people. You know, it's just terrible that how she was cackling, claiming that she was smoking weed in college, listening to Tupac and all this stuff when Tupac wasn't making music when she was in college. I mean, people forget she's 60 years old.
Jim, you know what's even crazier about these serial killers over in Australia or Britain or whatever? And let's say they get life for killing 11 people, or South America. South America is a big one. Like this guy killed like 150 kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when he got prosecuted, he could only go to jail for one case. They don't compound the cases. So he spent 25 years in prison for killing over 150 kids. That's it. They couldn't, there's no concurrent bullshit. It's just, and they just say, all right, you've committed 11 crimes. We're going to find you guilty, and you only get punished for one, which is bullshit. That's some bullshit.
Well, it's like the bullshit sometimes here where someone, like, I think it's this Lori Vallow or whatever, that case, and where she killed her kids or whatever, and she's already sentenced to life or death or something, and they keep trying her for other shit. It's like, what are you doing? You're wasting money.
Yeah. We don't care at this point. It's over. She has no chance of getting out. Well, I mean, it's ridiculous because our appeal system is what I don't like, because they can find one thing in all the court documents to where they let them go back to court and rehear the case again. And maybe they don't. I mean, I'm talking about, maybe the judge said something stupid.
Well, you know what? There should be a lot more of those cases. There should be it's weird how it seems like it's gotten a lot worse lately, where it used to be that they would win about 60 to 70% of the prosecutions that they would bring. And now it's in the 90s. So something has changed. It's the people, and it's people just go, well, they must be guilty. They wouldn't have arrested them. Well, no, I mean, they make mistakes all the time, or they lie,
Well, the state's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. When they go after you, they're going after you with everything, and they have all the money. So it's like, what's the guy's name in South Carolina that Nick did his trial?
Oh, Murdaugh.
Yeah, you think he did it?
I don't think he killed his wife and son, no.
I don't either, man. I just don't believe it.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Timing doesn't. Where'd all the shit go? Where's the blood? Where's the gun? Where's all this stuff? It was, he was. They were able to paint him as an evil person because of stealing money, but you're not supposed to be able to do that. That's called propensity evidence.
Right.
And you're not supposed to be able to do it, but they did it, and it got away. So I don't know what's going to end up happening with that.
I can't believe the judge let any of that financial shit go in, especially when he was going to go to court for that.
I think the judge had a reason that they were trying to cover up how corrupt the legal system was there. All the money, people stealing money and doing the shit that was just normal. And they're like, oh no, it's just him. Go after him. There's some other weird shit. Like, the stuff just didn't make sense to me about him. Like, where'd the money go? He had this drug problem supposedly. Well, that's some kind of story you come up with after the fact because you were, involved in something illegal, or, like he was getting this money, and it seemed to me like he was passing that money around to other lawyers and judges, and it was just a big corrupt thing.
They were all getting rich off of him, dude.
Yeah. They were trying to bury it.
Yeah. I don't see how he did it. And with the timing that they pulled up in that case, and they came back quick with that fucking guilty verdict too, dude.
Yeah. And then, like the whole thing was like this video that they heard his voice on uploaded to Snapchat. Well, they said what time it went up on Snapchat. They didn't say what time it was recorded on his phone. You know what I mean? They didn't get it from the phone. They got it from Snapchat. So maybe the kid took the video and there was no signal, and it just took until it finally uploaded to Snapchat.
Right. Sure. Yeah. It's crap. Again, no DNA evidence found on him at all.
Yeah.
And his DNA is going to be in the shed anyway. I think his son might have been into some shit that nobody knows about. I don't.
Well,
think
that son that got killed did kill a girl. So there was
Oh
that
yeah, he
thing.
killed the girl in the boat.
Yeah, boat accident and stuff, and so there was that. It could have been any number of things.
And he never got any time for that.
Yeah, no, he got out of it.
Right. It's like I've watched that whole Ivan Milat thing or Milat thing in Australia. That guy was a maniac. But like Dan also says, the judicial system over there is awful. Or I mean, Andrew says the courts here are useless. A 15-year-old ran over a man and his pregnant wife in a stolen car and got 6 years.
Well, they probably would have got. They probably would have just got a stern talking to here in some cities.
Oh, Vero, very good point. What they did to Trump.
Yeah.
They changed the fucking law to be able to prosecute him on that stuff.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They went after nobody else. That's
they changed the law to go after him for the E. Jean Carroll shit too. What the fuck?
Yeah. The rape thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though the jury said no, he did not rape her, they still say he raped her. It's on the jury form. Did by the preponderance of the evidence, did he rape her? No.
No. Not at all. But he still had to pay her a bunch of money, right?
It's going to get appealed. She's never going to see that money.
No. Like these 34 felonies, those are all bullshit too. They're all, I mean, he's not, I mean, just because he'll appeal all those, won't he, Jim?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, even the judge, because they used a bunch of evidence against Trump that he has immunity for in that case, so it's got to get retried. That conviction doesn't stand. The conviction wasn't entered against him, so he's technically not convicted. The judge did, you know what I mean? The judge has to enter the conviction and sentence him. The conviction is not entered yet. Gotcha. It's going to get overturned. That's why the judge said something about September or October for the sentencing, if necessary, because they got to argue, well, what are we doing here? We're going to retry this, or are we just going to dismiss it?
Right.
Because everything Trump did happened while he was president. Everything they charged him with happened while he was president. All the meetings and talking to these people, they brought in White House staff to talk about. You can't do any of that.
Yep. That bitch is remarkable. What bitch are we talking about?
E. Jean Carroll.
Oh, yeah.
She's a nut job.
None of it will stick. Yeah, I know. It was another way to try to make him look bad before the election. But where's he at in the polls now, Jim? Is he at like 70% or some ridiculous number?
No, I mean, well, he's the last polls I saw have him up like 8 points on Kamala. She's doing worse against him than Biden was because, we're a racist, sexist country. Not that she's a blithering fucking idiot. So we'll see.
Yeah. So the sentencing was suspended after the SCOTUS decision. It was dead on appeal anyway. The sentencing guidelines were problematic. Yeah. Jesus Christ. It's a sad thing that our government, is using other branches like that to go after the executive who has executive privilege. It's a thing. It's really a thing. Oh, Kamala's everybody's favorite Indian, right? Isn't she Indian?
Well, see, that's the thing. If they try to claim she's African American, that's a blatant lie. African American is specific people that are descendants of slaves, people that are descendants of, that lived through Jim Crow.
Right.
She's not that person. Her family's not that people. Her family owned slaves on Jamaica. She's not African American. You could say her family came from Africa to Jamaica, but she's Jamaican and Indian. She's not. And, I mean, okay, call her black if you want, because, people from Africa that come here just now, new immigrants from Africa that just came here, they're black, but they're not African American. That's a specific thing that applies to, it's weird,
It's weird to go into that conversation too, because
yeah, it is weird. Andrew Camel, the wrestler, because the great Kamala was a wrestler, and now you had Hulk Hogan endorsing Trump.
she's going to win, my sweet summer children. Yeah, sure. All the great racist jokes I've ever heard came from Democrats I've known. Because they're jokes. I mean, it's so silly when people get pissed off about jokes. Jokes are the fun stuff in life, and we got to joke about everybody, including ourselves. Because
I think people are like getting upset about the people getting canceled for the shit they were saying. They're like, oh, jokes. I'm like, well, some of these aren't jokes. Some of these things saying there's a difference between like a joke on a stage, a comedian doing, and her dad got upset with her because his grandfather was white. Yeah, and all this stuff. His father was very upset about the weed stuff because he's like, no, we don't do that. About talking about Jamaicans. I'm Jamaican, so I smoke. I love the ganja. It's like, no.
Right. So Julio sent me this real quick, Jim.
Cool.
I'm sure you've watched it.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. What can be.
Oh, yeah, this is hysterical.
What has been. There are those who are unable to see what can be. But there are many more who are able to see what can be unburdened by what has been. Remember Venn diagrams, those 3 circles, right? And then let's just see where they overlap. You will not be surprised because I have constructed a Venn diagram on this. Remember those 3 circles, how they overlap? Wow. I love Venn diagrams. So I just do. Whenever you're dealing with conflict, pull out a Venn diagram, right? And so, the 3 circles.
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
Wait, she just said her name is Kamala Harris, didn't she?
Yep. She did.
Because everyone is screaming that if you call her Kamala, that it's not Kamala, it's Kamala or Kamala.
God.
I mean, she can't even get her fucking name right.
The Democrats think that's the answer, huh?
Yeah. I think
Good
Dan
Lord.
is onto something there. He's talking about the growing earth.
She's smart. Yeah, she's smart. Trump still wins. Yeah, I don't think Kamala Harris changes that in any form or fashion, Jim.
Maybe.
Trump was still had an attempted assassination on him by the same party that she represents. Or
yeah, she's stupid enough to say something really dumb, so it could get interesting.
why is Camelot running for president again?
Running for.
Michael Obama will never run for president.
Yeah, no.
Michael's too rich and doesn't want the fucking headaches.
No, I don't understand either. It's weird. Like, what did they give Biden or some Biden's family to get him to drop? Because all they did was they just transferred the money directly to her from Biden. All his campaign money, they just changed. It's the same campaign number. All they did was change the name on it, which I didn't think you could do.
I thought it was his money.
It is. I don't understand it. I'm not a lawyer. I just, watch a bunch of them on YouTube. I'd love to hear somebody explain how they were able to just change the filing to a different name. because someone showed that today the FEC filing changed from the Biden Victory Fund to the Harris Victory Fund.
Huh. So it's like they're okay. So was Biden going to have to go to a convention because he was running unopposed, wasn't he?
Yeah. What's weird too is they had primaries and he won. There was a
saying,
primary, and that's why remember RFK was running against him, and then
Oh,
they
yeah.
kept blocking RFK for like, nope, you can't be in this one, you can't
right.
be in this one, and so they're like, fuck it, and he went independent, and so who knows? I mean, maybe I don't know, man. I didn't think it could work like this, but I guess it's these people crowing about democracy are the ones least interested in actually what the people want and what the people voted for.
Right. Kamala has to run in order to get the money raised, and there are 3 states that any other candidate could not be on.
I don't even know if Kamala can be in those states.
Because
it's going to be a fight. Well, because
she wasn't the president. Right.
There's a deadline. Like if the only way those states that she could be on the ballot would be if Biden died and she became president, then she would automatically be able to go on those ballots. That's the way the law's written. But if somebody just decides to drop off, their name is supposed to stay on the ballot.
Right. It says Kamala was on the ticket for fundraising, though.
Yeah, but it's still she's at any point in time she could have been dropped off the ticket. Biden could have said, "Nope, you're gone." He's the one who decides who his running mate is.
Yeah, he could have picked somebody else before the election, right? Yeah, it's his choice. I heard there were funds for Biden that could be used by Kamala, but nobody else. That explains why to use Kamala rather than somebody good. Might be true, but a lot of that money Joe keeps too, right?
I don't know how any of it works, but there is a couple states like Ohio's one of them where unless he dies, he's going to be on the ballot, and then I don't know how that's going to work. It's going to say Biden Harris and then Harris whoever.
Yeah,
and the votes for Biden Harris aren't going to go for Harris; they just aren't counted because he's not in the race.
You mean Biden?
Yeah, because he dropped out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm sure they don't care. They're going to, they seem to have the lawyers that always seem to be able to weasel their way and do whatever they want. That Mark Elias clown.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what Republicans do to try to fight it.
We'll see.
You think they give a shit?
I don't know. There's also some very weird stuff with her because neither one of her parents were American citizens. She was born in the United States, but during a time when it wasn't really clear that she was born in San Francisco and then they immediately went to Canada and she was raised the first 12 or 13 years of her life in Canada. So is she qualified to be president? I don't know. There's specific language about having to live in the U.S. for a certain amount of time and all this stuff. And what does natural born U.S. citizen mean? Does it just mean anyone born on U.S. soil is naturally a U.S. citizen?
Yep.
Or it's supposed to imply something about your parentage?
I think once you come to, if you're born, that's why they run to the country over the border, dude, to have their kids born here.
It's different to being a citizen or a natural born U.S. citizen. And there's also about Obama where his mother was so young that at the time, if you weren't over a certain age, your children weren't automatically citizens because they didn't want 15-year-old girls going overseas and having kids and them kids being, it was weird.
Right.
I don't know if it's constitutional, but there was some kind of law about it. Barnes was talking about it. So who knows?
I don't think they're going to go with the birther thing with Kamala.
No, they'll just let it, whatever. Just no reason. If someone's going to attack her on that, let it be some fringe weirdo.
Well, we shouldn't let it slide if it's true, though. If it's a true thing, I mean, we got to defend the Constitution, right? We got to defend this stuff. I mean, we can't just have anybody willy-nilly running for president because they feel like it if they're not even, fucking qualified by our Constitution to run for it.
Yeah, Vero, for we know it's natural born at 35, but the question is, what does natural born mean?
Look it up. What does natural born citizen mean?
There's an argument about it, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Like what it meant at the time.
Hey, dude, my mom is French. My dad is American. I was born in the United States, but my mom was not a citizen.
Yeah, but your dad was a citizen. It's supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, like if one parent is a citizen, you're a citizen. So you technically, if your mom was French and your dad was American, you technically could have French and American citizenship.
I couldn't because I wasn't born in France. So if I would have been born in France, I could have had French citizenship and U.S. citizenship. But since I was born in America, France won't recognize it.
Oh.
My sister was born in Australia because my dad was in the Navy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she went to jail, right? When she went to jail, she had to prove she was an American citizen because she was born in Australia. And they were going to ship her ass to Australia because they thought she was an Australian citizen. So we had to jump through 10,000 hoops to prove that she was born on a military base to an American soldier in Australia. But that shit was from the 1960s, dude. That shit took forever to find. But they had her in the fucking special wing of the prison for transfer out of the country. Yeah, crazy, right?
I don't want to. The Democrats, someone has a plan. I don't know if it's a competent plan. They knew that if they let Biden stay in the race, he was going to drag down all types of other candidates, like down ballot, that he was going to drag down other, basically. I mean, the way it sits now, the Republicans are going to take the Senate. It's just a matter of how many seat margin they get.
Yeah.
The House they should pick up seats in the House. They just don't want it to be like 2008 when Obama came in. What happened to the Republicans? How they got wiped out everywhere, and the Democrats had a 60-seat majority until they had a special election, and that guy Scott, what was his name, Scott something or other, won, and it brought it down. And that way they didn't have a filibuster-proof majority anymore,
right?
In the Senate to push things through. I mean, the Republicans aren't going to get no 60 seats in the Senate, but they might get 52 or 53, which is a decent margin to have. You're not worried about,
you're not worried about some filibuster bullshit, right?
Well, you're still going to have filibusters, but you can get stuff through. Like you can get that one bill a year through, like the budget bill. You just cram other shit in the budget and say, well, it's in the budget, so it's going through.
Right. Yeah. Very true.
But as far as
Rich C for $10. Enjoy your content. Here's some funds. Just support the channel. Thank you, Rich C. Very generous. That's another $10 super chat, Jim. We're $20 away from a Theory Tuesday. We could play your pole shifting video on Tuesday.
Cool.
But thank you again for the 10. So
Vero Freddy, there's a ton of dual citizens in the U.S. that are U.S. citizens.
No, but they're not recognized by the U.S. So the U.S. isn't going to grant you dual citizenship. The other country will, and the U.S. will give you. It's weird, dude. They don't. Like my mom lived here her whole life on a green card. Never got her citizenship.
Well, she could have got it if she wanted to.
But she never did. She kept her French citizenship.
Guam is a territory of the U.S., so if you're born on a territory of the U.S., you're a U.S. citizen. It's just like Puerto Rico. You're technically a U.S. citizen, but you can't vote in presidential elections. You don't get it's weird.
Because it's not a state.
Yeah, it's not a state. It's just a territory. So, right. But you're still a U.S. citizen. You're just... It's a weird situation.
It's a territory, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like the District of Columbia wasn't supposed to have any government. It was just supposed to. It really wasn't supposed to be people living in the District of Columbia. It was just supposed to be government work, buildings and government offices, but that didn't go the way they wanted. And now they got like crazy people talking about making DC a state. That would just be asinine. The whole purpose of DC was to not have a state have that power.
Correct. Correct. Oh my goodness. In motto for $20. Whoa.
Well, that's 50, right?
That is $50 in super chats tonight. And in motto goes on the board again. Here we go. In motto. In motto for $20. What's today? 22nd?
Yeah, and that's weird too, like Julio. Like we have these Congress people, like Eleanor Holmes Norton, and then Congress people from,
Thank you, in motto. Very generous.
representatives from Guam and other territories, but they don't have voting power, but yet they get to vote, but the votes don't count. It's weird. Like Puerto Rico has representatives, but they're not voting representatives. They're just there for like what I don't know exactly what they do. Like Eleanor Holmes, whatever Norton, whatever her name is, Holmes Norton. Her vote doesn't count because she's not part of the electoral college. Like it's weird, like a weird thing. Like
she's in Guam.
Weird. No, she's in D.C. She's a rep from D.C.
Oh yeah. She just has a lot of flapping to say, but nothing.
Yeah, but she can't vote.
Do anything,
she's a non-voting member.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we have non-voting members in Congress. What exactly do they do?
Do they get paid?
Yeah.
Why? What's their purpose?
I don't know.
To stir shit?
That's another thing too. We have way too few representatives in Congress for the amount of people we have in this country. It should be
way too few. Yes.
Yeah, we should have like well over 1,000 reps.
It
should be like it's like 300,000 or 400,000 people per representative. Your representative is supposed to be somebody you can go to and talk to about your problems, and they do what you want. Now it's so big, and it should be like I don't think it should be. As the population increases, the number of representatives should increase.
Of course,
it should have been a set number. But they didn't want it being too huge. So they basically kept clamping down.
Well, they shouldn't do that. They should agree with the government.
Now they just locked in the number of reps, like 435, I think, or something like that, and they just changed where basically as population grows, they go, okay, well now this is the separation. This is the separation.
They don't like it when they get to draw the map, right?
Yeah.
The whole map drawing thing is a fucking disaster. The map shouldn't be a
that's
thing.
The thing. It shouldn't be. Everything should be square, straight lines. Like everything should be, like duck, 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 duck.
Yep.
And then there wouldn't be any gerrymandering, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But the problem is that, like you've got some, like they say, like, oh, there's 2 senators from Oklahoma or wherever, or Nebraska or one of them states. Yet there's only one. Maybe it's Utah. There's only one rep. So it's like, well, because the Senate represents the state. The state's rights, the state's power, not the people. It's not, and then that whole thing about where I can't remember what amendment it was, 22nd or 21st maybe, or where they made the people vote instead of, the Senate was supposed to be elected by the state legislature. The people, your state reps voted for the senator, U.S. senator, to represent the state's rights and the state's agenda, and then once they changed the Senate to the people voting on the Senate, it fucked everything up. 26th Amendment. So that should have never changed, this, because basically you're taking that whole purpose of them being there to represent the states, not the people.
Yeah, the state's interests, not the people's interests. That's what you have Congress for.
Congress for, yeah. You don't need.
And it was 30 to 50,000 people, Jim, per rep. That was the number. Yeah.
It's what it should be. Like maybe 50,000, 100,000
people.
Most. At the most. And then if we have 5,000 reps, oh, well. I mean, you look at some of these other countries.
We want representation, dude. Yeah. Yeah. We don't want, like, I don't even know where to go see my rep for my area, dude. It's because nobody fucking does. Nobody knows where their rep's at. Because he's always in DC. He's so... They're so busy in DC, fucking around with the Constitution.
Well, I'll tell you what, you make a couple small donations, and by small, I mean, when you think about it, pretty small, and your rep will show up at your house.
Yeah, but I'm not giving to that Democratic idiot in Illinois. I mean, I did get a flyer in the mail today from some Illinois rep Tittle or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm fighting against illegal immigration. Whatever, dude. I just looked at it, fuck off, and I threw it in the trash. You're not fighting against illegal immigration. None of them are. They just want to slow it down, dude. I mean, we've had migrant workers forever in this country, Jim.
Yeah.
We just didn't give them fucking rights. We didn't say,
Well,
yeah,
no, they would come in, they would work, and they would leave. But now we're giving, we're giving them housing, we're giving them food, we're giving them welfare, and fucking medical, Medicare. I mean, did you see? Like, here,
free college.
Let me pull it up. This fucking thing, the U.S. debt clock.
None. 1, 2. None. I probably distrust the FBI more than any of them because they're on our soil and they fuck with people all the time in our country. The CIA,
Why is this in front of it?
They got bigger shit going on. The Department of Justice, they have no qualms putting your ass in jail for any reason and making you prove you're innocent instead of them proving you guilty. So they can go fuck themselves too. Just, don't do anything illegal and they'll leave you alone. But who are they to determine what's legal and illegal? Because they're some of the dirtiest motherfuckers in the world. I'll never forget the time I was in Arkansas, Jim, right? And I lived in this little 1-room apartment in this old house, right? In North Little Rock, Arkansas. And I hear, what the fuck? And I lived in a not good neighborhood, right? I open the door and he says, U.S. Marshal. I'm like, oh shit. He goes, does whatever the guy's name is live here? I said, no, sir. He said, what's your name? And I told him. He goes, all right, have a good day, sir. And he walked the fuck away.
Share the screen.
He didn't ask to move. He didn't ask to come in or anything like that. But it scared the shit out of me.
So this doesn't have all the stuff. I'm going to try to find more, but here's the U.S. population: $343 million, and the total U.S. people, 343 million. There's $929,000 per household is unfunded liabilities. So almost $1 million per household.
What does that mean?
That means like the shit that's owed, like right here, like the Social Security unfunded. There's $15 trillion that have to be paid out that we don't have the funds for Social Security.
Okay.
Total U.S. unfunded liabilities is $123 trillion. So the money for like Medicare, all the stuff that they know they're going to have to pay, like basically like when you got a pension, they'll say what your liability, like what you're going to owe for pensions if people live the standard ages, what you're going to have to pay out. Actuaries look at the tables, so like your pension, if it's funded or not. So this shows that there's another one. So like right now, it's saying national debt per person is over $100,000 per person. That the debt is just the debt, not the unfunded liabilities. That's just the debt that's owed to 34 trillion. But let me try to find another one. There was another one that showed like the Medicare, like Social Security and Medicare and what they spend.
But Social Security's paid for, Jim. Right? You're not listening again.
I'm listening. Social Security's not paid for. If they didn't spend the money, there was supposed to be a Social Security lockbox.
Of course.
That they used to talk about. But as soon as the money started going in, they started taking it for other shit. They never put the money away or did anything with it. If they would have took the money and put it somewhere, even just put it in.
Earned interest?
Earned interest in a bank account or something, collecting interest, or bought bonds or something. But
I'm not tired at all, Julio. I'm just frustrated with this.
See, this bullshit. One, this one was the one I wanted, but I don't want the screen over it because it's blocking all this good shit. Like the money supply, the trade deficit. This is how much the budget items are, okay? So for Medicaid and Medicare, every year is $1.79 trillion a year we're spending on Medicare and Medicaid. Social Security is $1.4 trillion. Now, that's almost all the taxes we take in. We take in about $4 trillion in taxes every year.
Okay, but wait a minute, Jim. I pay my taxes, plus I pay Medicare, plus I pay Social Security. So there's more than, I mean, they are getting that too. I mean, out of your paycheck, they get your Medicaid or Medicare.
Well, this is all rolled into it because they count it all together because it's like the total tax revenue. They count it together because right here, if you see it says income tax revenue and payroll tax revenue, excise tax revenue.
Okay.
You know, this excise tax revenue should be much higher. You know, this should be way more than 81 billion because that should be what, you know, bringing things into the country, sending things out of the country. That should be, you know, going up.
But we don't
You know.
manufacture anything anymore, though. If we did,
No.
we'd make more money with that shit. And,
Yeah.
you know, they don't want us to, you know, produce our own oil, so we can't ship that shit out under Biden. Remember when Trump was sending all that oil out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, student loan debt is 1.7 trillion.
Was Social Security included, Jim?
Yeah, Social Security is included in the so payroll tax revenue. That's Social Security. So they're taking in $1.6 trillion in payroll tax a year, and they're spending like payroll tax. Well, no, Medicare tax is separate. Where is that? Right?
Yeah,
There's a separate tax for Medicare.
Yeah,
And
but
maybe that's payroll tax. Maybe that's combined Medicare and Social Security. So they're taking in 1.6 trillion and they're spending double that on Medicare and Social Security every year.
So, okay, so my federal income tax nut is a number, right?
Right.
My Social Security is a number. My Medicaid is a number, and my state tax is a number.
Right. This is just federal. So here, like right at the top, it says income tax revenue. That's just your federal income tax, which they say they take in 2.322 trillion a year. And then payroll tax is just one. So I would imagine what they're doing is combining Social Security and the Medicare tax payment. So the Medicare tax payment isn't very much on a paycheck. You know what I mean? If you're paying like, if they're taking like say $500 in federal income tax out of your paycheck, they're taking like 100 and something Social Security or 200 and then like $50 in Medicare.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot because you're still paying for Obamacare if you want health care in the real world.
Right.
If you're
But what I was getting at though is if like the total tax revenue that they're taking, like what the payroll tax revenue is 1.619 trillion isn't even half of the combined Social Security payment and Medicare payments every year. So you know they're talking about
what about our military expense? Where's that at?
It's underneath here. I can't see. I don't know what the fuck. That's probably like 800 billion or 900 billion or a trillion. So here, federal spending. This is what we're spending right now. The official number and the actual number are different by over 100 billion. It's almost 7 trillion a year, and they're only taking in 5 trillion. So
for what number? 7 trillion for what?
Spending every year, 7 trillion. Like I remember under Reagan, all right, under Reagan when we were doing the Star Wars and all the crazy shit, they were building all the B-1 bombers and all. Our budgets were only like just over a trillion. Like the deficits were in the billions.
Yeah.
And they were going crazy. Like, oh my God, we got a $300 billion deficit.
Because that's when Clinton was going to balance a budget, remember?
Well, that was before. Yeah, and they did balance a budget where for like a couple of years where they basically were only spending what they were taking in. I mean, we need to do this. We need to go, okay, what are we taking in? And we need to tighten belts. It's going to have to happen. The longer they wait, the worse it's going to be. Because it's going to get to the point where the interest payments that we're paying are going to eat up all the taxes that are coming in. And then what are you doing?
They're just printing more money, right?
Well,
I know. I'm just saying they're just printing more money to prolong their existence. And they're just, it's true. They're fucking our kids big time and their kids, if they even get to see anything. The Democratic, well, yeah.
I don't know why this, like somebody put this over the overlay.
Oh, it's like an advertisement for an app, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that. Our interest payments are $1 trillion a year right now, Jim.
Yeah. It's like $1 trillion a year in interest. It's not.
The Federal Reserve don't loan money, dude.
Yeah, why does this keep popping up on usdebtclock.org? It's like, it's got to be owned by somebody that's trying to push something. Yeah, see, here was the U.S. debt, like here, and then it just goes right here. Raw.
Now, Trump spent a lot, too.
He did. He spent way more than he should have. He got rolled. Like, he spent, like, and I don't like, they keep saying, like, oh, they did this $2 trillion tax cut. It's like, well, it was $2 trillion over 10 years.
Yep.
That they cut taxes. And we don't have a tax problem. We have a spending problem. You guys are spending too much money. It's not like we're robbing anybody by not taking taxes. It's just, you don't borrow money to not take taxes. You're borrowing money for spending. The way they talk about it's retarded. Like somehow, oh, we financed, we took it. No, you stop spending money. You know,
yeah.
Like I heard today at that hearing that they said the Secret Service ranks 451st out of 459 federal departments or agencies. Why the fuck do we have 459 federal agencies? That sounds like a big waste of money. We should knock about, I don't know, 400 of them out of there.
450.
Yeah.
Get them. What the fuck are they doing? What? Oh, the Department of Education. Yeah, we need that in this country. The Department of Education. Build roads, field an army, protect the border, and that's it. You gotta put protect the border in there because that is our border. And we need to fucking honor that.
Yeah.
It's a total Ponzi scheme. Andrew. It's awful. It's awful. But
yeah, they keep blaming Trump for the debt, but they pushed through a $2 trillion spending bill right at the end of Trump's presidency, like after that he's getting blamed for. After he lost, they pushed one through for $2 trillion that he's getting blamed for. Yeah, I don't agree with that. You know, and Biden's already, the national debt's up $7 trillion since Biden took office. He's got another 6 months to go.
Salty Traveling Sea just sent me this. It says Biden is dying and is delegating authority. So memorandum for the Secretary of State, the Secretary of the Treasury, subject delegation of certain functions and authorities under the Rebuilding Economic Prosperity and Opportunity for Ukrainians Act. By authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, including Section 301 of Title III, United States Code 1, I hereby order as follows. Section 1, I hereby delegate to the Secretary of the Treasury the functions and authorities vested in the president by the Sections 104A1 and 104A2 of the Rebuilding Economic Prosperity and Opportunity for Ukrainians Act, Division F of the Public Law. I hereby delegate to the Secretary of State in consultation with the Secretary of the Treasury the function and authorities vested in the president. Oh my goodness! So he's just giving people his jobs, Jim.
Yeah, I don't think he can do that. I don't think he can just delegate the presidential powers to other people.
I would think not. You would think not. That is not good, Salty Traveling Sea. It's illegal and unconstitutional. Yeah, he doesn't have. Where's everybody saying this can't be happening? What's going on? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's like if he has to delegate, why is he? They should just be 25th Amendment against him then if he's unable to fulfill his duties.
Why isn't he giving it to Kamala?
Yeah, I mean that would be the easiest thing to do is just resign the presidency. You know, maybe they don't want to do that because they don't want to have a problem with not having a speaker, not having a vice president, because there's no way they would be able to get a vice president through the House. You know, because the House would have to approve the vice president.
If he dies tonight, that letter means nothing.
I don't know.
Because Kamala's a president tomorrow, and she just says that letter's bullshit. You're not doing shit for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
He can't
You know,
transfer
he can
that
write,
power.
you know, I don't know. Is that an executive order, and then until another president repeals that, they would have to repeal that executive order? I don't know.
Dude, there ought to be a lawyer right now fucking filing a case against this right now.
You would think.
Chris, did you just check in? Did you just check in? I just put it up here. So President Biden is delegating authority to other members of his staff. So he's given the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Treasury the power of the president to negotiate and, do all of the functions that the president would do in order to rebuild economic prosperity and opportunity for Ukrainians Act. So he's delegating his authority as the living president. You cannot fucking do that shit, dude. It's insane. I'll leave it up there for you to check out, Chris. You can read that letter. It's just not.
You know, unless there was something in those acts. Well,
yeah.
It says, I hereby delegate the functions and authorities vested in the president by sections. Yeah, no, that seems like it's a law that they passed, said the president makes these choices. I don't see how he can delegate that to someone else. I don't know. Maybe he has authority. Maybe he can. I don't know. It doesn't seem like something that should be allowed.
He can not trust Kamala all he wants, but if he dies tonight, she's president. He don't get that letter is fucking garbage. And if he's too incapacitated to do his job, Jim, in July of 2024, they threatened a 25th Amendment Trump every week for no reason. For some reason, Andrew Campbell, Joe Biden has a big hard-on for the Ukrainian president, I guess, Jim. And
getting his family. He's getting a ton of money from people.
He's going to make goddamn sure that if nothing else gets taken care of, it's that. Laura Loomer just posted the whole thing to her ex account. Sick. I don't follow Laura Loomer, so Jim probably does.
I don't know if I follow her or not.
You follow everybody, don't you?
No, I don't follow that many people.
That's pathetic, though, that he's delegating authority that's his. Sorry, it just is.
Oh, this is funny.
What's that?
The AP just confirmed that here. Claim. Harris got her start by having an affair with a married man, California politician Willie Brown. The facts. This is missing some important context. Brown was separated from his wife during the relationship, which was not a secret.
That wasn't the point, you idiots. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's hysterical. So yeah,
that's not the whole purpose.
Yeah.
So she's been reporting on the possibility of Biden croaking earlier today. Ugh.
Yeah, like if here's the thing, if Biden didn't write that letter and someone else did and signed his name, whoever did it should go to jail.
What's this AI call that Salty's talking? Remember that BS call? It was AI and pre-recorded, and everybody saw through it. I don't know what call was that. Was that a Ukrainian thing, Salty?
Well, they're saying Kamala Harris just added pronouns to her bio.
No, don't ever shut up, Vero. Keep talking. This is what we're here for. Thank you, Karen. Excellent show. Thank you. I know way too much about history. I'm even annoying myself. Oh shit, that's funny. That is funny. Hey, Salty, if you see that article by Laura, and you
I'm looking
want to
for
send
it
it to
right
me,
now.
you're on Laura's page.
No, I'm right here. Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Dick Masterson. To catch an idiot, we must send an idiot.
Oh no, Kamala supposedly spoke with Biden on the phone live today. She effed up live and called it a recording. Holy shit.
Yeah, I imagine that he wouldn't call live. They'd have to record it and edit it and get it,
Is he going to be like, you said we haven't seen him since the 17th, right?
No one has seen him since the 17th.
So 5 days ago.
Here's this thing. Memorandum. I want to see his signature. Is it signed by him?
Well, that's what I just pulled up.
Yeah.
Apparently she had the whole thing out. She had the whole thing out. So I don't know. You don't see it anywhere else?
No.
Joe is in the attic. You know, he might be in the attic. Or he does need to show his face though, Jim, to stop some of the talk going on out there.
Oh, what do you know? Chicago dropped their lawsuit against Glock.
Who did?
Chicago. They were suing Glock, saying saying their guns were too easily converted into machine guns.
Oh,
And they must have realized it's going to cost them a lot of money when they lose.
well, that's a ridiculous statement.
Yeah, this I think is the funniest thing here. These white men are the most dangerous threat to our democracy, and then you got Kamala with the white person, you got AOC with the white guy, you got Lori Lightfoot with the white woman, you got Ketanji Brown Jackson with her white husband, you got Don Lemon with his white husband, and you got Ilhan Omar with her white husband. Wow,
Damn,
but white people are so scary.
they're such bigots and racists.
Yeah. All right, let me look for Laura Loomer. Only take a second here. Laura
Loomer.
See, I don't even follow her. What do you know?
Yeah.
Biden is dying and is quietly delegating his presidential authorities.
So yeah, that's the one we had. But if you click on it, it looks like it's scrollable on Twitter itself.
It's not though. So wait. You know what? Where did this come from? Let me look. Where does this come from? WhiteHouse.gov. Let me see if I can find a. You would think they would have the link to it, So let's go.
Yeah. He's John Gill. That's retarded. My gun is basically a Glock, but they have nothing to do with it. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, they were suing because of Glock switches instead of, let's see, White House, and yeah, it's right here.
Red Scorpion. Good for Ilhan. He looks like a definite upgrade from her brother. Remember that, Jim?
What the fuck is this? Exonerations.
Say that.
Oh, fuck.
Port Chicago?
Yeah. Today the U.S. Navy is righting a historic wrong by announcing the exoneration of 258 black sailors who were unjustly tried and convicted of mutiny and disobeying orders following a tragic explosion at Port Chicago, California, nearly 80 years ago. At that time, future Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Markman represented Chicago 50 in their appeal of their court-martial convictions, writing that justice can only be done in this case by a complete reversal of the findings. On July 17, 1944, 2 Navy ships were destroyed when SSEA Bryan cargo ship exploded while being loaded with ammunition. This explosion, the deadliest home front disaster of the U.S. during World War II, led to tragic death 320 sailors, civilians, with hundreds more injured. In the wake of that tragedy, black sailors were required to clean up the carnage and return to dangerous work of handling munitions without adequate training and protective equipment, while white sailors were granted leave. In the face of this injustice, 258 black sailors refused orders to load ammunition and soon after were convicted at courts-martials for disobeying orders of mutiny. After conducting a careful and deliberate review, the U.S. Navy has determined that court-martial for all 258 black sailors were fundamentally unfair, plagued by legal errors, and tainted by racial discrimination. So basically, they're just going and looking back in history and saying, oh, anytime. I mean, I don't know the history of that case. I don't know. It might be justified, but it just seems like they're just looking for any time they can say, oh, there was racial discrimination here, so let's, exonerate them. Let's see.
In other words, we falsely prosecuted these sailors. Jim?
That's what they're saying, but I don't know if they're saying that that there was racial discrimination. So they're just rewriting history. They're going back, something 80 years ago to say like, oh yeah, they were all black, so it's got to be racism. I don't know. Maybe it's maybe I'm looking for this. Oh, here we go. Memorandum of Delegate Function Authority in section for William McTamer. Well, here's another one on the 19th. He was delegating National Defense Authorization Authority to this guy. I don't even know who this is.
All right, so
here's another one. This is defense. They're authorizing. He's directing the Office of Management and Budget the functions vested by the President in the National Defense Authorization Act.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see this. This is Laura Loomer's tweet. Joe Biden is dying and final preparations are being made for him. He was supposed to leave Delaware today, but his health has deteriorated. Due to his accelerated decline, Joe Biden has canceled 9 trips that were scheduled for the next 2 weeks. Biden is expected to leave his beach home in Rehoboth, Delaware on Tuesday afternoon and arrive back at the White House at 2:30 p.m., although that could be changed to Wednesday, July 24th. It all depends on how much he continues to decline. Biden has been dying, and he is dying rather quickly. This is why Kamala flew to Delaware today and why Biden's White House Chief of Staff, Jeff Zients, called for an emergency meeting and call with all White House staff today. The medical emergency Joe Biden had on July 5th, 2024 on Air Force One that I exclusively reported almost killed him. His time left is limited. Biden's staffers and his families are holding on for dear life right now. Kamala Harris will be president very soon.
It seems like there's been a whole flurry of these delegations of authority over the last few days. Here's another one to the Attorney General and to some other people, Secretary of Commerce, for some act that passed in 2022. If you just pull this up, look at, you've got this one he did on today, the Memorandum of Delegation Authorities, certain functions authorities on the Rebuilding Economic Prosperity and Opportunity for Ukraine Act. This one under the National Defense Authorization Act. Memorandum for the intellectual property. Memorandum of President's amendment to this agreement. Oh, national. Let's see what this one is. Letter to the Speaker of the House and President of the Senate on the continuation of the national emergency with respect to hostage taking and the wrongful detention of U.S. abroad.
Nationals abroad. Well, it's funny how he had COVID the day after Trump got shot, right? Jim?
Yeah, it's funny. Funny.
And
yeah, and Motto's right. He picked a really weird time to die of natural causes.
Yeah, so let's I haven't seen this. I want to see this. Salty Traveling Sea is just full of information.
I love it.
I love you, Joe. Oh, it is so good to hear our president's voice. Joe, I know you're still on the call, and we've been talking every day. You guys heard it from Doug's voice. We love Joe and Jill. We really do. They truly are like family to us. And we do, everybody here does.
It's mutual.
I knew you were still there. You're not going anywhere, Joe.
I'm watching you, kid. I'm watching you, kid. I love it.
I love you, Joe. Oh, it is so.
That could be fucking AI.
That's what Salty's saying. That's an AI call. What? Okay, so here's a weird thing, Jim. Why is she so happy to see the guy? She sees him every day, right? I mean, like, that's a weird thing to even talk about. Like, oh, I got to talk to Joe today. Like, it's surprising. Like, you act like that when somebody's on their deathbed, right? Oh, I got to talk to this guy. He's dying. It sounds like Jimmy Dore voice actor call. Yeah. Jimmy Dore is hilarious. Yeah. This is hilarious, Jim. That they think that we should tolerate this shit. And you know what the problem is? About 2% of the population even knows this shit's going on.
Well, that's the sad thing is you got I think you got like 40% of people that are going to vote one way or their specific way, and then you got the small portion of people that I mean, really only about half of the people eligible to vote actually vote anyway.
Barely half, and that's on a good year, right?
Yeah,
that's on a good year. That 50%.
Except for in 2020 when you had like 108, 109% of the people vote in some counties.
Oh, don't talk about that, Jim. That's
amazing.
That's hocus pocus bullshit. That they would never do that. They would never let that happen in this country. They would never let dead people vote. Any of that stuff. That's crazy talk. What's crazy talk is fucking the president delegating authority that he doesn't have the right to delegate. Those authorities are already present out there, dude. You have them all. And when you die, they go away. Until then, they're yours. I just can't imagine that this guy that's got delegated authority has any authority to bypass Congress or the Senate when they're not the president, Jim.
I mean, maybe it's presidential power that he could just say, because like the president doesn't have to make all this. He could delegate to the Secretary of Defense or to someone to prosecute a war, and you make all the decisions. Go ahead. You got my permission. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. They could delegate to the Secretary of State to go work on negotiate with somebody, I would imagine. So I don't know. Maybe they
don't write it down.
They just tell them to do it.
They tell them, go fucking talk to the goddamn Saudis about, not fighting with these guys and make the shit happen. Oh, he's going to vote twice in every state, Julio, just to make sure she gets elected. Who's the worst president ever, Jim?
Joe Biden.
Right?
Well,
it's not even...
it's really close between Joe Biden and Abraham Lincoln.
And who?
Abraham Lincoln. The tyrant.
Yeah. Biden hasn't killed nearly as many Americans, right?
No.
Yeah. Carter was pretty bad too. You agree?
Yes, he was pretty bad, but he couldn't fuck things up that bad. You know what I mean? It was he had
the gas lines are what killed the gas lines are what
and
killed
then telling
Carter.
people, well, this is what you could do: just turn your thermostat up,
or
down, or whatever it was, and get a sweater. Oh, you're done, dude.
Yeah, he was a nice fella. He was just a bad. Yeah, he Abraha Obama. Yeah, you're probably right. I couldn't stand Obama. People told me how much of a good speaker he was, Simply Green. As soon as I heard his fucking voice, I turned the channel. I could not stand to hear him talk.
You plan on being on for a couple more minutes?
Just a few.
I got to run this dog out. She's barking.
She's yapping at you.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we just end it now?
Okay.
I got to get up in 5 or 6.5 hours anyway. Okay. Chat. Tomorrow's a Theory Tuesday.
Oh, Theory Tuesday.
We're gonna hear we're gonna hear about expanding Earth. Dan Blackroyd.
Maybe I wonder how the expanding Earth plays into the magnetic pole shift. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, you got all day. Did you have the kid today?
No, not at all.
Cool. Hey, chat. Thanks for being here on Twitter, Rumble, YouTube. It's great. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, 7:00. And thanks for the super chats and thanks for the interaction in the chat. It's always the best. We don't ignore you on our show. We talk to you because that's the reason I'm here.
What? Who?
Only person that ignores me on my show is Jim. But other than that, see you later. Girls.